A great change of our psychological attitude is imminent.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I know this doesn't make any sense, but it will in just a second. It will. I hope.
Dude, this has been very overdue because I've known you for like 3 years now, right? Somewhere around that.
September 22, I believe.
September 22. It's only been 2 years and change. Well,
Yeah.
time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
You and I met because we were connected through a guy I know named Mark in Florida, who also happens to be from New York. And he was like, bro, he's like, and Mark is like this gruff, tough, like fucking tatted up. He's a bear of a man. He's like, and he talks like this. He's like, hey man. He's like, hey man, listen, I don't really believe in this stuff. But I talked to this guy and he kind of blew my fucking hat off. And I was like, well, what's the deal? He's like, well, he used to be a firefighter in New York City. And then now he is a psychic and a medium. And I was like, wait, what? Like, that's a bizarre combination. And you and I spoke, and I remember one of the first things you said to me, you said, so you have an older brother? And I go, no, I don't. And in my head, I was like, fucking some psychic this guy is. And you go, no, I can see it. There is an older brother. And I was like, there's not though. And you go, yeah, he died when he was a baby. And I was like, oh my God. And it brought it all back to me. My mom had had a miscarriage before I was born. And it was a boy, and you called that, and you said, I can see a floating blue light right by you. Yep. And you said, that's your older brother. That's what these older siblings who pass away early, that's what they kind of look like, right? And you called it out. And no one knew that my mom had a miscarriage. It wasn't like a kept secret or anything like that, but just no one knew that. And it's also very interesting, sort of like being a public person who was also in the middle of controversy at the time. I'm like, I'm very Googleable. And there's a lot of stuff that's out there that people could see and go, I'm picking up that you're going through a very difficult time right now in your life, right? And it's like, yeah, no shit. But there were things that you and I talked about that I was like, nobody knew that. And it was the first experience I'd ever had with anything like that, where I walked away from it going, okay, there's something out there that I don't understand and I don't know what it is. I've always been a very spiritual person, but interacting with people who seem to walk both sides of the spiritual and the real was completely new to me. And I was just like, what the fuck is this guy? And then you and I ended up becoming buddies. Yeah. And like now we talk all the time, and you were super influential in the beginning of the podcast. You're the reason why we launched it on the 28th. And like everyone was like, okay, we'll launch it at this day. And I was like, nope, guys, listen, we got to launch it on the 28th. And they're like, what? And I go, yeah, listen, it's a long story, but we have to launch it on the 28th. Yes. It doesn't even matter the month. We just have to launch it on the 28th. Yes. And they were all like, why? And I had to go, well, because my psychic firefighter buddy who can summon UFOs told me that that's the day I got to launch it on. And they were just like, okay, but here we are. And now you're here. This is becoming a longer introduction than I normally do. I normally just let the conversations flow, but you're here in LA now with your family. You happened to be coming here. And the serendipity of it all is just wild to me, because this is a day that I have free. This is the day you landed. You are also an ex-firefighter landing in a city that is going through the largest natural disaster that LA has ever seen. I mean, right now there's more burning in Los Angeles in terms of acreage than the island of Manhattan. I mean, it's wild. So I want to talk about the spirituality aspect. I want to talk about the numerology aspect of it all. I would like to talk about you and what this journey for you looked like, and what's going on in LA in terms of the fires from a qualified person's opinion, and also like the spiritual side of that, of what's going on. I just kind of want to get into all of it. Yeah. So, dude, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Just so people tuning in, you know, maybe they don't know who I am. So I was a New York City firefighter, and I went to Australia for a vacation in 2018. Why? I'm sitting on the beach in Coney Island, New York, hanging out. I'm a single guy on the beach, hanging out. And I just kept seeing like Australia. I'd go out, I'd see on the subway, visit Australia. I'm like, all right, I got to go there. Something's
Yeah.
telling me to go there.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know at this moment. I'm not doing numerology or anything like this. I just know something in my intuition is driving me to go to Australia. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go. So I plan a month vacation. I go to Australia, right? And as I'm about to go there, I get a friend request from a girl who we have one mutual friend on Facebook. I get a Facebook friend request. The one mutual friend we have is the person I'm going to see in Australia, my friend's mom.
Yeah.
So I know it's not like a random person I just met. So I'm like, hey, Mary Rodwell, do you know this girl, Jess? You know, she's a mutual friend. She goes, oh yeah, she's lovely. I've met her. I'm like, oh, she's real then.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting fished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna ask money or some crazy thing. But I'm like, I'm actually coming to Australia. Do you want to meet up? And she's like, where? Australia's pretty big. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm flying into Brisbane. Where are you? She's like, oh, I'm in Melbourne. I'm like, let's meet. And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't, right?
Yeah.
So I go out there. We meet up. Just before I met her, though, I was with Mary Rodwell, hanging out during the day. And she goes, Andrew, why did you come all the way from New York City to see me? Like, I'm in my 60s. Like, you can't find anyone in New York to get, insight or psychic stuff from. The lady's got a lot of good intuitive skills.
Okay.
But I go, Mary, I don't know, but I'm here. And she goes, okay. You've been seeing UFOs, lights in the skies over the years. I'm like, yeah, I've filmed them, documented them, have them studied by a scientist at Stanford. Like, I'm in deep with that stuff, okay? But I really trust this lady. And she goes, the lights in the sky that you're seeing, she goes, I feel that there's a deeper connection. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I think you possibly might have some, what they call hybrid children on the craft. So I go,
wait, what does that mean?
Hold on. That's next level for me even. I'm like, okay, why do you say that? She goes, and the person that you're having these hybrid children with, this woman, you're going to meet her very soon. And and at this moment, I'm like, who is she talking about? I have no idea who she's talking about. So I leave her and I'm like, I don't know if I have kids on UFO. Like, that's a little much, but if they come visit me, I'll send you a selfie. You know what I mean? I'm open, but that's next level. I can't go back to the firehouse and tell the guys, hey, I got kids on UFOs, and I'm not saying I do. I'm just speaking out loud what she told me. However, 8 hours later, I meet Jess.
Yeah.
We're hanging out. We're in a backyard. I didn't tell Mary about her at all. Like, that I was actually going to see her right after.
Okay.
But we're sitting in the yard hanging out. A UFO comes. I film it. Right? I got it on video. And Jess is like, oh, I see that too. I go, I'll be right back. I go inside the house we're staying at, and I go, okay, if this is that UFO with those kids on there, and this is that mom of the kids or whatever, I want you to bilocate. So you're in one area. I want to see the craft on the other side of the house. You got to give me a sign.
Right. Okay.
Right? Or is this BS or whatever?
Yeah.
So I walk through the house, and I don't tell Jess this. I walk through the house. I go out the other side. Bang. It's blue. A blue craft appears. So I go back outside, I sit down, and I'm like, so Jess, you picking up anything, intuitively, or what do you get? And she goes, yeah. She goes, actually, I'm getting a download, and that there's hybrid kids on the craft, and they're telling me that you and I are the parents of these hybrid children. I'm like, and I didn't tell her what Mary said, but I'm like, when I tell people this, they're like, yeah, that's crazy. What I can tell you is, though, right now, and you just met her, me and my wife now, who are married now, we have an actual child here on Earth.
A full child.
A full
not
child
a hybrid.
here. Not half alien. You met her. She's 100% human.
Very cute, by the way.
Yes, amazing. So I met Jess, and that was the beginning of what would come next, right? At the time I met her, I was a firefighter in New York City.
Yeah.
Just on vacation in Australia.
Yeah.
I went there. I came back to New York. Me and Jess hit it off. So I'm like, hey, you want to come to New York and see me? She came again. And then I'm like, all right. Who's going, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
So I called the fire department, and they're like, you have a year. You can go to Australia. If it doesn't work out, you want to come back, you got it. So I'm like, duh, I'm out of here. Bye. I'll make it work. And if it doesn't.
Does that mean they pay you for the year, or they just hold your spot for a year?
They told me, legally, I have a year to come back. I'm not paid. They go, but basically, people have hardships. Sometimes their wives get sick or whatever. They give you time off. They're like, don't worry about it. So I went there. And next thing I know, I'm in Australia and make it work, and I never came back. Now, I never thought I'd be doing this, right? So I'm a firefighter, and I'm going to Australia, and I'm like, all right, I have to get a job. Like, I have to work. I'm with this girl. So I'm sitting outside and I'm like, I want to work in a funeral home. I want to do the embalmings. Like literally, I said that out loud. I remember the next day, I wake up and I go online and bang, the first thing that comes up is an ad to go work in a funeral home as a funeral arranger.
Why did you want to do embalmings?
So I just wanted to get my foot in the door, but I always wanted to do that side of it. I'd been around a lot of funerals being a firefighter, tons over the years. And I always respected people that did that for a profession.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, wow, so prideful and such a cool thing. But I'm like,
it's also it's a very sacred thing. It's been, you know, like it's Anubis.
I'm going to get into that.
Right?
So,
okay, yeah.
So, right. And I believe, once again, when you're on the spiritual journey, things come and you either go with it or you resist it and you're like, everything's not what it seems to be. So I'm like, I'm going to roll with this, see what happens. I know I want to do this. I put that out there. Literally, it was a full moon outside. I just said, I want to work in a funeral home. I said, I am working in a funeral home instead of I want to, you know?
I'm happily working in a funeral
There
home.
you go.
Yeah.
Put it out in a good way. No one gets hurt. It's all happy, all good. So the next day, bang, the ad comes up. I go down the block, walk into a funeral home for an interview. I don't know anyone in this country, bro. Yeah. I'm like, they're not going to hire me. I don't work in a funeral home.
As an American, are you even allowed to work in Australia?
So I had to get a job in order to get citizenship.
Oh, okay.
Residency.
Right.
So any job though, anything. But I'm like, I want to do something cool, man. I'm a weirdo, whatever. You know what I mean? Like firefighter, psychic medium. I want to do something different. And I said, you know what? Let me at least give it a shot and see what happens. So I go in. They hire me on the spot. Huh. I go in for an interview. She just wanted to know about firefighting, and she's like, I can tell you want this. You got it. So I get my foot in the door, just like a fireman. I keep my mouth shut. I go in the back. I see two girls doing the embalming. Start talking to them. I see Anubis on the wall.
Like an actual picture of Anubis.
Dude, a sketch, like an old painting, old school. My mortician teacher was Egyptian. Her and another girl that trained me both had psychic abilities. We'll leave it at that.
I want to get to I love that.
So what are the chances, right?
Well, just to get into the Anubis thing of it all, I have Anubis tattooed on my thumb.
Yeah.
And Anubis was, I just want to give everyone like a little context. Sure. Anubis was the Egyptian deity who was the god of embalming, the guardian of the afterlife, all that stuff. He's often depicted with Coptic jars or pulling out organs, and mummification was like his big thing. This preservation of the spirit kind of thing.
Yes.
You realize this is not going to bode well for the cannibal thing, you know.
Listen, that's fine. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But anyway, when you would die, you would get to Anubis. And Anubis would reach in and pull your heart out. And he would put it on the scale with the feather of Mot or the feather of truth on the other side. So your heart's on one side and the feather is on the other side. And if your heart was lighter than the feather, meaning your intentions were pure, then you got to go on to the duat or the afterlife, whatever it was. But if your intentions were not pure and the feather was lighter than your heart, jackals would come out and tear your soul apart. And you would never enter the field of reeds, they would say. So this idea of embalming has had such a long sacred history throughout so many different religions. And it's very interesting that you've had this spiritual awakening and then all of a sudden found yourself in a sort of like makeshift temple to Anubis.
Yeah, and of course, this is 2019.
Yeah.
We hadn't met.
No.
We don't know. This is nothing, you know, this is all before I met you. I needed to get a job, so 2019 comes. I'm working in a funeral home, doing funerals. The girls in the back are like, you need to get back here. I'm like, I want to do that. I'm like, can you teach me?
Yeah.
They're like, well, there's one girl, she might be around, she might not. And I'm like, I'm going to get in. They go, it's going to take a couple of years. Now, 3 months later.
Like you were like the apprentice.
Yeah. They go, it's going to take a few years to get in, to even do anything, because it takes forever. Once you get that job.
Initiation phase.
Yeah, you don't give that up, man. People do that for 20 years. So I'm like, I'll wait. So 3 months later, it just happens to be the girl in front of me, tears her hand. We have an emergency. We need someone to go in. Can you go in and do it? I've never done this before. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, the person's already dead. What's the worst that can happen?
They're not going to talk back. They're not going to complain, right? And I have a girl.
One Yelp star.
And there's a girl back there kind of helping me and showing me. And she's like, oh my God, you're picking this up. How do you know how to do this? I go, I don't. But I trust and I believe that I can do this, and I'm just winging it.
Yeah.
Literally 3 months later, I'm embalming for 10 funeral homes.
No way.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Did you feel I mean, obviously, but what was the spiritual connection that you felt to that work?
So I started doing that, and then of course COVID came, like not too long after COVID comes around.
Yeah.
So I saw it at a whole nother level as well. Like these are the times when people like that were doing what we're meant to do, just like the crisis going on with the fires and everything.
Sure.
It seems to be, I've always worked jobs around these crises or people that are in crisis or in need or are going through hell. I'm there to help them. And I always figured if somebody's coming in, no matter what they went through, how they passed, if I could at least make them look beautiful for their last day, and a relative comes up and says, oh my God, my mom looked 20 years younger. How did you do that? That's magic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, but I just do the best I can because I have a very good teacher and I'm applying it. And you kind of either have it or you don't, because I also do the hair, nail, makeup. I've never done that stuff. Nothing against guys that are into that. That's all good. I never did that in my life, So I just kind of winged it and then got into that. And then did that consistently for a few years. The pandemic came.
Yeah.
And then boom, that is when we connected. Just
Yeah.
to give a little backstory to people, if I ended up in Melbourne, Australia, right? I didn't plan on that.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that's when we met. So I came here from Melbourne right now to go back to vacation to New York, and that is why I am here. But I never meant to be in Australia. It just kind of happened.
You got there. Yeah, yeah. That's so interesting. So then you worked as an embalmer for a couple of years.
Yep.
And then what would you say is the thing you got out of that? Like, why did you need to end up there?
Yeah. So, and I was fine doing that when the pandemic came.
Yeah.
People were calling me all over the world, messaging me for readings, psychic readings, because I was still
Okay.
doing them on the side.
Sure.
And I go, all right, it's time. So I
Yeah.
took what I learned. Literally, I tell people, I don't know what it's like to be dead, but I could tell you what the families go through. So
Sure.
I just take that and incorporate that into readings.
Sure.
And it all helped.
How much would you say, I mean, if you know, does modern embalming or the process there look like ancient embalming?
Yeah, so I mean, they do it differently now. The chemicals and things like that. It is a little bit of a different process, but a lot of the old techniques, some places apply, and then some places do it a little differently. You know what I mean? Just depends. Back in the day, they didn't put anything in you. A lot of people just kept you natural.
Like
Some
no
culture,
formaldehyde or
none.
anything like that?
Some cultures still do that, but
Okay.
some want you to do it whatever you wanted. We did every background. That's why, like what I learned in the funeral home, the door's open to anyone.
Yeah.
When I do readings, people are like, how would you read him? Or how would you? I said, I'm here to help anyone.
Yeah.
When you first reached out to me, I remember it came through. It just said AH.
Yeah.
I'm in Australia. I don't know who AH is. You know what I mean? So I'm like, and I didn't know you until we started talking. And then after, and I'm like, okay. But I had no prior knowledge, man. I'm from New York.
Right.
I know a few actors. I know people
Yeah.
that have been around. So it just kind of clicked. But yeah, at first, yeah, man, it just kind of all came together like that.
I'm so curious about like what modern embalming looks like compared to what ancient embalming looks like, because I feel like there are strings that come from the ancient days that lead all the way through to where we are now. The way that, alchemy became chemistry.
Sure.
And magic became psychology.
Sure.
Sort of like in terms of you do these magic rituals, which we've talked about, and it accesses parts of you, it allows you to process things. And now that's the work that you do with a therapist, whether they do experientials or sort of anything like that, where they're like, I'm going to put you into this state and we're going to talk about what that feels like and you're going to process these things. You used to do that by yourself in a temple or with a priest or something
Sure.
like that, where you would do these rituals to connect to what was going on inside of yourself, right? And that's the through line to psychology. At least this is how I kind of see it now.
Yeah.
What is that through line for embalming? Because I think before it was so much about the preservation of the spirit of the person, or allowing that person to cross over more easily through what's, the great mystery, the barrier of like here to then,
Yep. It's also, like I said, culturally. So some people do it exactly like they did from day one. It's just Egyptians or whatever, whatever background people have. Whereas now, a lot of people speed up the process, and I think that takes
Put a
away.
needle here, suck out the blood, put a needle here, pump in the formaldehyde, little makeup, and you're done.
I've had people say, don't touch him. Literally just, don't even change his clothes. They come in a hospital gown, just literally put him in the coffin and put him right in, and they cremate him. Like,
Yeah.
to me personally, I think there's a beautiful process to see with the preparation and then how whatever culture people want to do. Some people, no one bombing at all, don't even think about it.
What cultures are those?
Oh, I mean, there's just different, some Indian cultures that I've met, Chinese, it just depends. Some say do not, a lot of Chinese people that I met.
Hindus, I think it's all about cremation, right? Like, it's like, don't even fuck with anything.
I've done tons of burials.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Australia's a little different, so you have a little bit of mix of everything.
What is the sort of like Aboriginal people's approach to the processing of a past loved one?
So same thing. Most of the time they believe in the, same thing, preservation of the soul, and literally you're taking care of them just like they were when they were alive.
Yeah.
Where I'm not saying anything against American culture, but it just seems like people get really like, some people can't deal with what's going on emotionally, and they're just like, I need this over with.
Yeah.
Whereas other cultures
get this thing out of the house.
Aboriginals, oh my God, it's like literally like a couple week process. As a funeral arranger, you're with the family. You go to their home. You're like part of the family. Whoa. They were amazing. They treated me amazing. Yeah, like part of the family.
I remember when my dad died, which is now 2 years ago or something like that. When he passed, there was a guy who was with us, a guy named Peter, who's a very spiritual dude that I know here in LA. And he showed up and he was really kind of like there. And when my dad passed, he was like, you guys all come over here and we need to put our hands on your dad, like the minute he passed.
Yeah.
And it sort of broke that spell of, this is a dead body, get it out of here, right? Because I think for a long time in human history, we have evolved to be afraid of dead bodies, because dead bodies carry disease. Yeah. And if you touch a dead body, you're gonna die. And so when we see a dead body, it triggers, I think, like an ancient evolutionary reflex in us where we're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Like, have you seen a dead body? Oh God, I saw a dead body once. Oh, like that kind of thing. But when we just went over and put our hands on my dad, and he's like, he's passing, but like, he's still here. This is a process of him sort of like leaving his body.
Yes.
Like, it takes, the Buddhists would say, a couple of days, whatever that is, but like, we need to honor him right here, right now. And we ended up sort of sitting a bit of like a modified Shiva with my dad, where we put dry ice underneath his body and we like washed him, put oil on him, wrapped him in a shroud, put flowers all over him. And we really gave him like I mean, it's gonna make me emotional talking about it. It was just like a really beautiful send-off. But that was one of the few instances where I have been that close to the passing of another human being. Yeah. And it's a trip, but there's also something about it where, Peter was like, we need to get all, because he was at home hospice. He's like, we need to get all these machines out of here right now. Like, trust me, they're not going to fix them. So get these machines out of here, and we need to almost turn this room into an initiation chamber.
Right. He's
got to go.
Yes.
And we have to let him. And it was, there were readings of the bardos that happened. There were all these beautiful things that happened. But seeing death that up close and touching something that feels fucking ancient and beautiful, it was really eye-opening to when you see how that process can be handled with respect, and honor, and all of those things. Like, when you walk out of that initiation chamber, which I feel like is very much what you worked in, like an initiation chamber to take people to the side, like, you walk out of that and you walk into the normal world where people are obsessed with stupid shit, and like, what, do you have the new blah blah blah? Did you hear Taylor Swift's new album? You're just like, oh God, guys, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? So that's fascinating. I want to talk about the fireman aspect. I want to talk about your psychic medium abilities, like how those came up, how you developed them.
And I knew your dad. I met your dad. When did I did a couple of readings
for my dad.
Yes.
When was that?
Yes. Yep. A couple of them. Yep.
What? Wait, did you never tell me?
Maybe you don't. Maybe. Well, I don't tell anyone anything. That's private business. But your dad obviously passed, but his wife.
Oh yeah, Misty. That's right. That's
just so people know, like, after I met you,
that's right. I connected.
You just said, hey, there's people that want to get readings. So Misty and some other people, they were all lovely. I've met your dad a few times.
Yeah.
So right away when I met you, September of 22, not long after, a couple months after I met Misty, and then your dad.
Yeah.
And then a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 more, maybe 3 total.
That's
Your dad.
right. I
So I
forgot.
actually read I remember reading. Yeah, I read your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What does it look like when you read people?
I see impressions. I'll see images. I don't literally see dead people walking around. I don't want to see that. Like I wouldn't want to see
Yeah,
that.
okay,
That's too
right.
much. So for example, somebody passes, and then like I talked about, I'm like, wow, I'll see this blue energy, but it's small above you. So that to me means older or older brother, something above you. Whereas if it was
Okay.
next to you, I'd be like, hey, is this someone younger or like right at your level?
Yeah.
That's how they usually show me. I don't have control over what I see. It's just, hey, whatever's there, okay, that's what's around. And it just either is there or not. I can't say, hey, I can right now guarantee your dad's. I can't do that. It's just whatever's going to be around, and they want to come through, and I have permission to do it. It's just whatever I'm receiving. But it's all imagery. Once in a while, I'll hear a voice, a tone, or a name. You know, for example, I hear like, Richard, or something very subtle, but it sounds like they're at the bottom of a swimming pool. So it's like, wait, what? Did I hear that right? And when I do, I'll ask someone and they'll go, oh my God, that was my dad, or you know what I mean? It's usually spot on with the name.
Does this stuff come to you all day, like every day?
No. Oh my God. So anyone watching this too, if you hear a psychic that says that, you probably end up in a psych ward. Okay, I don't want any part of that. I know how to turn this on and off. Why? Because I was taught. Now, no one made me psychic, but when I was a kid, me and my grandmother would watch Unsolved Mysteries. And I said, okay, one day, I'm watching, I go, Gran, when you go to heaven one day, come back and give me a sign. And if you do, I'll tell everyone, meaning my parents, not the world, but now everyone knows. So she passed away about 18 years later. And then after she did, I'm sitting in a restaurant in town where I grew up with my mom. This guy comes in the restaurant with a leather jacket, earrings, long hair, comes up to me and mom and goes, did someone just die in your family recently that had cancer? Right here in their face. We're like, yeah? That's exactly what my grandmother had. And he goes, and you or your mom, who was born on Easter Sunday? My mom was born on Easter Sunday in 1954. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, who's this guy? So he's like, oh, I'm a psychic. I'm doing a reading the restaurant. I'm like, yeah, keep going. Like, all right, whatever, keep going. Everything was spot on. I was skeptical though. I'm like, maybe somebody paid him, right? Something's going on.
Sure.
I wait a year, track the guy down. His name is Robert Hansen. He's in Long Island, New York. I get a one-on-one reading. Everything he brought up the second time was different, all new things. And at the end, he goes, Andrew, you have the gift. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you're getting messages. I go, what do I do with that? He goes, I can help you interpret that. I can't make you psychic. You already are. You got it. I could just help you separate what's going on basically through meditation. So I started training with the guy. Now I'm a fireman at the time. You're going back to like 2010, 2011. So at the time I had like 6 years on the job. I don't want anyone to know I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm training.
Oh, I'm sure the firehouse will have a field day with that. Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to know. So I kept it a secret for a couple of years. Didn't tell anybody. And then eventually somebody saw me at one of that guy's events. And he's like, bro, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I know. And he's like, oh, you do that stuff? Can you read me? And I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a try, man. I'm training, whatever.
Yeah.
So I started reading guys at work, then their wives, then their cousins.
No shit.
Now I'm going to the firehouse working, and on my days off, I'm just reading people for nothing. Just to, train, help grow. Do I have this? Do I not have this? You know what I mean? That takes a while to accept that you're really doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing this on my days off. And then eventually that moment came where I had a reading with somebody that I went, oh my God, this is real.
Yeah.
I didn't know this person. It was totally random. And everything I said after, they were able to validate for me. I said to them, I go, hey, I see a girl in a pink shirt with white hearts on it and a guy in a Captain America outfit with an A on the head. And she's like, I don't know what that means. After, it was a little girl that had passed that was coming through. She goes, Andrew, they have a memorial page. I wasn't on Facebook then in 2011. So the girl goes, come here, let me show you. They have a memorial page for the family set up. There was a guy with the A on his head, the Captain America outfit, and the girl that passed in the pink shirt with the white hearts on it. So I go, oh my God, dude. Like, there's no way I could have known that. I didn't know who this girl was, everything, and it came through spot on. I'm like, all right, this is real now. Like, this is the real thing. What do I do with this, right?
Yeah.
I still don't want the guys to know. And then one day, I'm at work, and I get a text from the New York Post. And they go, we're dropping an article about you tomorrow on page 6. I go, okay, who is this? Some author, journalist I've never heard of. I'm like, whoa, hold on. What's this about? And what are you doing? Do you want to comment on something? She goes, yeah. I go, well, can you send me a copy of what you wrote? She goes, no. I go, how can I comment? How can I comment on something I don't even know what you wrote? So I called a lawyer just to, hey, what do I do? He goes, dude, give no comment because we don't know what's going on.
Right.
And I said nothing.
I know that dance.
You know that?
I know that dance.
But I had to call the FDNY press desk, all the chiefs. Now, I'm a third-generation firefighter. My dad is a fireman. My uncle was a fireman for 27 years before that. To come out with this is going to sound whacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're like, that guy inhaled too many fumes fighting fires.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
But I had to tell him. Now, I said, I got to say it, right? It is what it is. The press desk said, we have no problem with what you're doing. You know, on your days off, you're helping guys and girls and for nothing? Like, dude, you're not doing anything wrong. We have no problem with that.
That's good.
They called the Post and they said, don't run the article. The guy doesn't want it. Why are you doing this? The girl that wrote it, I looked at her old articles. They were all hit pieces on cops and firemen. So she waited a few weeks and she ran the article, but maybe it was edited a little, but I have no problem. What's in there is factual. If I said it, I'll stand behind it. It sounds nuts to people. However, that's why I'm here now. You know what I mean? Things happened after that of meeting people, doing readings where I'm like, all right, now everyone knows it's no secret. So I just started doing readings then openly, and then it kind of just accelerated from there.
It's a trip, because as I hear you talking about this, there's a metaphor that I always talk about on this podcast, which is, you know, how fascinating life is. Because you're swinging through the jungle on a vine, right? And your vine says FDNY on it. You've got a pension, you've got a retirement, you've probably got amazing benefits. You're also a fireman in New York City. Like, I don't know that there's a more venerated job to have. Like, people fucking hate cops and they love firemen, right? So it's like you're doing this. But as you're swinging through the jungle on that vine, you see another vine and you go, oh no, that's a good looking vine. Like, oh God, what do I do? But the added complication of this vine that I want to grab onto, if I grab onto that vine, there's a very good chance that a lot of people in my life are going to go, that guy's lost his mind. That guy's crazy. But that didn't stop you. You grabbed that vine, and the metaphor goes, once you grab that other vine, even though you don't know where that vine is going to take you, you don't know if that vine is even going to hold your weight. It doesn't have all of the benefits. It doesn't have all of the fallback and safety of the vine that you're currently holding, but you got to let go of that vine and fully commit to that vine and swing into your life. You know, Joseph Campbell talks about that a lot. That call to action, right? Like, you received a call to action. There was a bigger work that you needed to do. And it took a lot of courage to grab that vine and let go of the one behind you. And now you're swinging through on that vine.
And I feel like constantly you keep growing. Part of yourself, either you're shedding your skin like a snake or part of you keeps dying. And you have to let go of that. For me personally, if I want to go where I'm going, I have to keep letting go of, oh, is that not good for me, not serving me? Goodbye. And if it comes down to, hey, I can't do this profession because I have to do this right now full time, I got to do it. There's no way. You know, I can't do anything else. This is it.
I love that you brought up snakes. I've been thinking about snakes a lot lately in terms of like the spiritual aspect of what the serpent represents, and also the bad rap that serpents have gotten in religion. When, like, really in a lot of religions, besides for sort of like the Judeo-Christian faith, snakes are respected. Snakes are incredible creatures because they do shed their skin. They take the old crusty version of themselves and they shed it off, and then they are anew. And then they live as this new version of the snake, and then they'll shed again and something else. And sort of like that metaphor that happens to us people all the time. But also, once you have shed that old skin does not define you anymore. Like, that's not a part of you. You are now onto this new thing. And I think that it's fascinating to me that so many of the Western faiths have gone, snakes are evil. Stay away from snakes. Stay away from the serpent. Stay away. Because it's like, we need to keep you locked in. And you are a sinner. And you are unworthy. And that's why you need us as an institution to, on your behalf, intercede because you are not worthy. And you go, take it. You go, well, you're not worthy. You need us to intercede on your behalf. And you go, yeah, maybe I'm not worthy right now, but watch this. Now you are anew. And I love that. I love that imagery. The sacredness of the serpent, you know. I've got a snake tattoo around my leg. It's the Ouroboros.
Yes.
For that same exact reason. It's obviously an ancient sort of like Gnostic symbol of rebirth and regeneration and eating the old so that you can feed the new kind of thing, which I love that imagery of it.
And in 1999, right, I'm a 19-year-old kid. I joined the U.S. Coast Guard. I'm sailing down to the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean. The lone night watchman on a boat.
Donald Trump would like it to now be the Gulf of America.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And I see a light in the sky that I can't identify. So I call down. My officer comes up. We're all looking at these two lights moving. Now, at this time, I'm like, oh, it's got to be military, something. I just don't know what it is. I'm 19. They're like, that's a UFO, kid. And I'm like, what? Two of them. And I could see them. And they're moving. About 10 minutes later, the two come together and then vanish.
Whoa.
Now, I was the night watchman that first spotted it. At the time, I'm like, I'm just at the right place at the right time or wrong place at the wrong time. However, 2 years later, I heard of a guy that was out in California named Dr. Stephen Greer that claimed that he could proactively communicate with these things, and he had like 800 military witnesses that knew about the cover-up and had seen things. I go, I got to go meet this guy.
Yeah.
I got to figure this out. So in 2011, I fly out to Borrego Springs, to the middle of the desert. Me and my partner at the time, she was a cop. So fireman, cop, right? At the time, I had like 5-6 years on the job. My grandmother was sick at the time, okay? And I was going through that whole process. And after her passing, you know, just going through things and trying to get answers, right? So I'm like, let me see what this is all about. So we fly out there, we do this. And I run into a guy that, you know, Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
So go figure, what a small world.
You guys were there with Dr. Greer at the same time.
Yes.
Wild.
And I didn't know. I'm just there, and he's like, yeah, there's a guy coming. He's been on TV. He's been in the show Hung. And I'm like, I know that show. We watch it in the firehouse. You know, of course. Yeah. Thomas Jane rolls in. Great guy. Awesome.
Was he barefoot?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the whole time, of course.
Yeah.
We had a blast. We were talking. He was lovely. And we went out the first night. Nothing happened. I didn't see anything personally. But I went back to my hotel room, and Dr. Greer said, when you go back to your room, if you sit quiet or something comes in, just, you know, allow to receive it, see what happens, you know, and I'm thinking nothing's going to happen. Well, at 3 in the morning, I wake up, I see this green light on the wall. I wake my partner up. We both see this thing, and it moves. So it wasn't like a smoke detector or a light in the room. We're in the desert. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's no street lights. There's nothing, okay?
Yeah.
And like I said, we're two trained observers. We're watching this light move. And it stayed until the sun came up. And in the morning, I came into the group circle. We had a breakfast. And he's like, Dr. Greer's like, did anyone see anything? I told him what happened. And he's like, what do you think that was? I go, it felt like, I can't, it's hard to describe it. It felt like there was a big craft outside that sent a probe just to like comfort us so I wouldn't freak out. And he goes, that's how they do this. And I'm thinking, all right, from that moment on, that day on, till now, if I go outside and I meditate, or even sometimes I don't, these lights appear. Now, one night I remember a psychic telling me, call to your loved one that's passed. See if you get a sign, maybe something will appear or whatever. So one night I'm outside, I said, Graham, if you could hear me, give me a sign. And boom, all of a sudden a golden ball of light appears and glides across the sky like a UFO. And I'm like, oh my God, are my loved ones on these things? Or like, what's going on? Now, I've been doing this for 15 years now.
Yeah.
But at first, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I do believe there is this connection with all of it. It's like the wheels on a bicycle, near-death experience, out-of-body experience, UFOs, life after death, right?
Remote viewing, all that stuff.
Some people like to do ayahuasca and all that. You don't need to do any of that. You could do this naturally, but if you want to, whatever. That's just not my thing. But you could do all of that stuff. It's all the same thing that'll get you to where you want to go. But I recommend not taking shortcuts. You want to do it organically. Why? Because if you take a substance to do it, now you're dependent on that substance.
Right.
Whereas if you access it naturally through meditation, there's no hangover. There's nothing. It's just there.
It was explained to me by my buddy Peter, where he said, you know, he's a shaman, and I've talked to you about him.
Sure.
But he told me, he said, you know, it's like there is a gate, right? And it's like on the other side of that gate is, you know, the completion of consciousness, the all in all, whatever it is that you want to call it. right? The source, whatever. And if you take psychedelics, it's like you're acknowledging that that gate is locked for you. But I can take these psychedelics and jump the fence. And you land on the other side, and it will get you there, but you don't know how you got there. You don't know why you're there, and you don't know what to do there. But you're given all of these downloads, but you don't know how to defrag them in your computer, right? And so you can keep jumping that fence and keep jumping that fence and keep jumping that fence with psychedelics, which is what I did for years. LSD, mushrooms, DMT, anything that like got me there to where you take enough of it and you go, I see the interconnectivity of everything. Like that experience that we get on psychedelics. But I was taught how to use meditation and breath work to then get me there. And when I got there the proper way or the appropriate way, it's like the gate opened up. And instead of feeling like an interloper or like I'd snuck into this place where I didn't actually really belong, like it was like the gate opened to me and then all the downloads just clicked and made sense, if that makes sense, you know?
And I want to be clear, when I met Dr. Gray, he taught me from day one, remote viewing, transcendental meditation, holotropic breathing, you know, basically that advanced breathing. So that's the methods that I still use. Why? Because they work.
Can you do the remote viewing stuff?
Oh, yeah. That is incredible. So, for example, before we go outside now, I'm talking now. At first, when you're learning, right, you're trying to figure this out. You're a mess. You're like, I don't know what's going on. Now, before I go outside, I'll sit with my wife or whoever I'm with. I'll write down times and I'm go, okay, I'm getting 8:30 and 9:15 that a craft's going to come in the Northwest or wherever, whatever I'm seeing, write it down. And the reason I learned this is because when I met Gria, people in the group were doing that before we went out. They said, at 33 degrees, at this time at 8:30, there's going to be a golden craft. I'm like, yeah, right, bro. Come on. That's crazy. I was in the circle, though, with them, and I saw this. So I'm like, dude, either they're friends with the CIA, you know what I mean, or Project Bluebeam or whatever. But till I finally did it, they're like, yeah, dude, you're doing basically, that's like the most hardcore remote viewing, UFOs and ETs. That's extremely tough to do.
Can you, with remote viewing, can you get onto the craft?
The thing is, yes, you can do it. The problem is, how do I prove that to you? That's the thing with remote viewing and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know what I'm experiencing, and I can come back and say, hey, I interacted with this being. This is what they show me, where they took me. However, if they tell me about something in the future or something that's to come, that's a way to go, whoa, now there's something to it. If I'm saying I'm flying around Zeta Reticuli and the ocean's blue or whatever, you know, come on, dude, that's crazy. Right. You no one wants to hear that. But yes, you absolutely can do that. You could do it in a dream state, or you could do it out of body. You don't even have to remote view. Before I'm falling, as I'm falling asleep, as I'm dozing off at night, Dr. Greer told me, anyone that wants to try remote viewing or even meditation, you're having trouble with it, he goes, as you're dozing off, going to bed, hold it. When you wake up in the morning, when you're groggy, that hypnagogic state, hold it. And you'll literally be able to travel. That's what I do. I still do it. It's that easy. You don't have to do, oh my God, all these crazy workshops, 10 levels. No. Keep it simple. Just wake
be tired.
up. Yeah, just literally. Because you're quieting the mind. You can't silence it, but you're quieting the mind before you go to bed, right? You're relaxing. Hold that. And when you do, you're going to go, oh my God, you will step out. You'll be able to look. Maybe not right away. Maybe not the first few times. I kept with it. And yes, I wouldn't recommend it if someone's drinking or using or whatever. You got to do it clear. You know what I mean? You want to get the results. But yes, all this stuff can be accessed naturally. And it's real easy. It's society and people around us that say, that's all nonsense. You can't do that. You look at the CIA files, UFO files, all that stuff. They're all out now. They have been researching this stuff.
Yeah, since like the 50s.
Forever.
Yeah.
I've had people.
They have full remote viewing schools.
I have been contacted by people that ran these schools in the CIA, scientists, Dr. Gary Nolan, Stanford University. When all this happened, when I started having a lot of contact, and I'm like, what's going on? Mary Rodwell said, you got to find a geneticist. I go, wait, a geneticist for what? She goes, I think you might be activating some junk DNA. So I'm like, oh.
What does that mean, junk DNA?
So there's DNA supposedly that we have that is dormant, that is not being activated, that you're not using all of your DNA. They call it the junk DNA in your body.
Okay.
So
I never heard that.
Yeah, so you can look this stuff up. Basically, people have said after a near-death experience or a car crash, or they can do mathematics, or they have a heightened sense of awareness. Sure. So some people that I've met, CIA people like that, say, oh, you're activating some junk DNA. They could test this.
They can test the junk DNA.
They could test your DNA. Oh, yeah, this is, once again, I don't know if a doctor publicly would announce all of this, but they're doing this.
Interesting.
Oh, they're doing this big time because they really feel that some people are accessing, well, number one, more of the brain and DNA changes. So, like, the guy went out to space with the twin brother. And his DNA changed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So right there,
Mark Kelly.
Your DNA can change. How? He went to space.
Yeah.
So something, or whatever he did, shifted, right? So through meditation, the same thing can happen.
I wonder if it's the going into space, having the near-death experience, having whatever that is. It's like you sort of get up to a threshold and you step through that threshold.
Right.
You might come back, but like the hero's journey always involves coming back, right? Joseph Campbell would say that you have your inciting incident, the hero goes. The hero learns, grows, experiences these boons, but then the end part of the hero's journey is always bringing it back with you.
And that's the thing. It's so important, and I hope everyone that's listening to this, that you make it back. Because you know how life goes. Things happen. People experiment with things, and they don't return. And
Do you see that? Like people start going down this world and then just spinning off the planet and never coming back?
When I got into this, I'm talking like publicly, okay? I had a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, asking questions, but publicly, like, hey, contact this geneticist, Gary Nolan at Stanford. I knew him through a friend, okay? This lady's a professor of religious studies in North Carolina that knows him. Very, very brilliant person. So I contacted him. He's like, yeah, you're not crazy. I believe you. Just, you know, what's going on? I can help you. I know Jacques Vallée. I know all these people that are well-known, you know, UFO people. I'm like, I just want to get answers. I want to make sure I'm not going crazy. Is this normal, or have I lost it, man? Like, what's going on? No, really.
Am I going crazy?
Yeah, because it sounds not. I can't talk to at first, couldn't talk to my family about this, or, you know what I mean? No one. I couldn't talk. Oh my God, I'm contacting UFOs, summoning them. They appear, and grandma might be on them, or whatever, you know? So I treaded lightly at first. Then when it all came out, I'm so grateful that I had Dr. Gary Nolan and professionals to go, if anyone says anything and they knock your life or what you're doing, you just laugh, say, I got a great life, man. I don't care what you say. You are what you say you are. You're doing what you're saying. And to hear that from an established person who's been doing and around this, and he's a contactee, UFO contactee, so he gets it.
But by the way, hearing that in general, that is solid life advice, whether or not you're contacting UFOs or not. You're like, I got a great life, and I don't really care what you think about it, you know?
Yes.
I find myself in that situation where, like, you know, I've started working again. At the end of 2024, which you called 2 years ago.
Yes.
The first time we ever spoke.
Yes.
I was like, I want to go back to work. And you were like, it's going to be a minute, bro. And I was like, what are you talking about? You go, it's not going to happen for a while. I go, no, dude, like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you were like, it's not going to happen for you until the end of 2024.
Yes.
So keep working on yourself.
Yes.
Keep growing on a personal level, but don't count on work coming until then. And this was 2 years ago.
Yes.
And if you would have told me 2 years ago that it was going to take another 2 years for me to work again, I would have thought you were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And this is all just another reason where I'm like, this guy might be onto something, because you called it 2 years ago. You said it is not until the end of 2024. And I got a job at the end of November in 2024, the end of 2024, just like you said.
So very simply, basically, all of us when we're born, there's what they call a Chinese astrology chart. Everyone has a symbol, right? I'm a monkey, there's rat, there's all these symbols, but basically...
Fire tiger.
Yes, basically, every 12 years is going to be a great year, okay? For whatever your sign is, that's how it goes. Then there's also your friend signs. We all have 2 friend signs, right? The main one you got to be concerned with is the enemy, who's opposite you. You don't want to reproduce with that person. You know, try not to, okay? So if there's a big age difference, usually you might have an enemy sign. You got to be careful. A lot of people I read that at a divorce, they go, oh my God, that was my enemy sign. I just didn't know. Now also...
How do you know what your enemy is? Like what?
So you would look on the chart, basically who's ever directly across from you. That's the enemy.
That's the enemy.
It's really easy. I sent you a copy. People can look this up to keep it real simple. It's real easy.
Please send it to me. I got a million questions right now.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, well, let's let producer Jerry jump in.
Of course.
Because, by the way, producer Jerry also is a proud member of the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance. With Thomas Jane. They're in it together.
Thomas Jane's in it?
Yeah, Thomas Jane's in it.
I haven't seen him at the conventions. He's going to have to give me the secret handshake.
Lazy. Just lazy. But the thing is like the Disclosure Alliance is basically like people in Hollywood. And it's writers, directors, producers. It's all these people who go, aliens are real. We all know it. we're going to get this shit out there. Jerry made a movie about alien contact,
Awesome.
which was amazing. The Naked Umbrella.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
What's your questions, producer Jerry?
Of course,
I don't want to drag the interview
No,
down
no.
because I've been reading about it.
Jerry has been more excited about this interview than, and me too,
Yeah.
but Jerry's been more excited about this interview than any interview we have done.
I've been following Greer forever.
Oh, okay.
I
So you know.
believed in him, and then I got weird because he's like, man, he's charging so much money to do these CE5
Sure.
things, but I still like the guy. I just keep going. Just please read me. Read me.
Of course. So
I've had the worst year ever.
I got a message for you. I'm serious. We'll get into that in a second. But no, I want to hit on this because we're right there. So basically, people are looking, if they look at the chart, basically, whatever your birth date is, whatever year you're born in, what's across from you, you need to, you know that. Yeah, you can pull it up just so you could share with everyone, right? Everyone's looking this up. What's your year? What do you have to look out for? There's years you need to lay low. Now, if you're married to somebody, right? Even your wife, your partner, if
Monkey is my enemy.
Right.
You better fucking watch it.
Well, we're not going to reproduce. I'm not worried. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Listen, it's been a crazy year. Who knows?
Well, yeah, right.
Who knows?
I mean, men get pregnant, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I'm done, bro. One and done. That's it. No. But basically, if say, for example, say your partner or a girl you're with is in the current year, say that's her enemy year. So, for example, 2024 we're in, right?
Yeah.
The enemy sign across, I believe, is someone that's born in 82 or 70 or 94. If someone's born in one of those years directly across from 2024?
Directly across from 2024 is 82. Dog.
So if you, for example, if you know somebody in that year or you had a partner or an ex or somebody in that year, 2024 is not their year. So just for example, if they're not being ethical, if they're doing things they shouldn't, if they're talking smack or these things are not going good, if they're not doing what they're supposed to, number one, we're in a karmic year because 2 + 2 + 4, the year of 2024 equals 8. That's the number of karma.
Okay.
So if you're in an enemy year, in a karmic year, and you're messing around, say you're cheating, or you're talking smack about somebody, you're toast.
You're gonna get it.
Oh, because I believe karma pays all dues, bro, not Christ. I'm just saying it's not a religious thing. But I know for sure, because right now what we're in going on in these fires, okay? If you look at what's going on, I was talking to you earlier about this. Basically, the year California's founded in, right now this is their enemy year. So in 12 years, 2036 is another enemy year for Cali. Not good.
They're still going to
You
be
have a heads
rebuilding
up.
Los Angeles.
Are you talking 2025 or 2024?
2024. So just so you guys know, the Chinese astrology calendar, the year for them ends on January 29th. So we're technically still in 2024.
Oh,
Yeah, just so you know. You can look this up. People could Google this, whatever. But it's till the 29th. So these fires, they're in their year. And it's karma and all these things going on. It happens. Now, I know before this happened last year, I know very good numerologists that said, hey, man, 2024, be careful where you live in Cali. That's when I said to you, where you live, if I was going to live anywhere, it would be in this location because when it was founded, okay? And that's a good match for you, okay? And that is also why your podcast and things are going the way they are. If you do numerology right, if you live in the right location and you keep the right people around you to do what you're doing, you don't have to wait for your year. You could, there's an expression, get high off of someone else's stash. You know what I mean? So as long as it's not like an enemy sign we're dealing with, hey, but if his year's coming up, I don't know his birthday, I'm just saying. What sign are you? Do you know what sign?
I'm Leo.
No, astrology sign.
Rat.
Okay, so the next rat year that's coming up right there will be...
Well, we've got 2020, so 2032.
Yeah, so...
Don't worry, you're going to have a great year in 2032, Jerry.
Fuck.
So, but just so you know, right, you have your year, then every 4 years are usually good. So 2020 was your year. Your friend sign is 2024, and then 2028. Okay, so this 2024 is when you started the podcast, correct?
That's right.
Not 2025. Pretty good. Considering what's going on just north of here, right? So all in all, if you play it right and you do things on certain dates, the number 28, someone that's born on the 28th, or someone that releases an album, a podcast, buys a home, something like that on the 28th, that's a number of long-term wealth.
I'll tell you the best thing that you ever told me about the number 28, which I love. I was born on the 28th.
There you go.
We started the podcast on the 28th.
Excellent.
But the thing that always cracks me up, where you're like, all of these big companies, they all have people on their staff who do numerology.
Yes.
All of them. And you said, go back and look at every single Rolex ad that has ever come out and look at the date on the watch. Wow. And every single Rolex ad the watches is set to the 28th.
28.
What?
Yeah.
Look it up.
How wild is that?
All. So you know that they're doing it, right? And then when you look people up and you look at birthdays, you look at big companies, the McDonald's, right? The giant M. M is the 13th letter. 13, the number is to pay homage to the 13 royal families. Okay? Philadelphia 76 is 7 plus 6 equals what? 13. The San Francisco 49 is 4 plus 9 is 13. They're paying homage
To the 13 royal families?
the 13 families that rule the world, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. But that's why they picked
Do
that.
we know who the 13 families
The
are?
Rothschilds and all that stuff,
Okay.
you know, but basically you'll see, you look all this stuff, it's like, wow, this is right in front of us. They're just paying homage. So different letters, different numbers have different energies, right? So they use 13 because they're paying homage. Whereas if they're going to release something or they're going to have a certain date, you better believe it's on the 28th. Post Malone, you could look this up. Kendrick Lamar, all these big dogs. Kanye, all the last albums, 28th. Post Malone's best album, 28th of the month he released it. Not the first, 28th. So, and
this is why I kept pushing the date of the podcast.
they will never, unfortunately, I hope they do, but these guys will never go on a podcast sharing it. They're keeping it to themselves. Me, I'll tell everyone. I'll tell you this. I'll tell anyone. I'm not hiding this from anyone. I got a numerology reading from a guy, okay, in Detroit, Clyde. Great guy. Found him online. He had a great teacher. He gave me a reading, and then he's like, wait, you're psychic? You got to tell me some things. And we started talking. And then I applied what he told me, and he said, hey, do this, apply these dates. And then I'm like, oh my God, this stuff works.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell people that come to me because I don't gatekeep. I'm going to tell you, of course, friends, clients, anyone wants to know, I would share this with them. It's real easy. Most people though, because, people out there aren't sharing this, celebs and people like that, no one's going to know.
Yeah.
But that's their cheat code. Millionaires aren't using numerology. Billionaires are. I'm telling you, the facts.
That's fascinating.
Facts.
So there's this guy, Edgar Casey.
Yep.
You know Edgar Casey?
Followed him a long time.
Dude, Edgar Casey his story is wild.
New York City, they got an Edgar Casey and I've done readings there.
No way. They have a center for Edgar. He wasn't from New York, was he? Was he from like?
He's got a center there.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done readings there. Yeah.
Anyway, I read the documentary about him. I read the biography about him, and it's fucking wild because this guy was apparently one of the most powerful psychics around at the time, and this was during. What would you call that age in America where it was like Madame Blavatsky and like the Theosophic era?
Theosophic. Oh yeah.
That
I
whole
know
thing.
all about them. I've read it. I know all about that.
I would like to talk to you about this
Is that
because
Aleister Crowley in that era as well?
Yeah. The Hermetic Order of the.
He lived in Long Island. Crowley lived in Long Island. Yeah, of course.
The Theosophical Research Society, all those big things. Anyway, Edgar Casey comes around and he puts himself into a trance, like meditation, like you were talking about, and he's able to just tell people everything about their life. But then what happened was he was so good that he started getting hired by extremely powerful people who were using him to find gold.
Yes.
Or, where on my property are there gemstones? Where is the gold? Where is the this and that? And as soon as he started using his gifts to get money, his gifts went away.
Yes.
Like they just stopped working.
Yes.
And then he went back to doing it from an altruistic point as like I am just a vessel passing these things along. And then he died.
Yes.
So it's like that whole not gatekeeping thing feels like you've been given a gift. And if you misuse that gift, the gift will bite you in the ass.
Oh, tenfold.
And I feel like there's a part of my story where there were gifts that I was given, whatever physical attributes I got, but then also, the ability to be charming and funny and like make people feel comfortable and all those things that I know I'm good at. When I was using those, not necessarily for good, but for my own needs to be met or anything like that, those gifts ended up biting me in the ass.
Yes. So a lot of people that I read over the years too. So say I'm talking currently married. I'll get people that will come to me that are married and they'll say, is my partner cheating? And I'm like, well, if you're asking that right away, like obviously something's off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one just asks that unless something's going on. If people are married and they have children and there is cheating, my experience is that sometimes there could be health effects to the children. I've seen this.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, I'm talking severe ADHD or, things physiologically. Say someone's pregnant and the partner's cheating at the time.
Yeah.
this is what it is, right? We all make mistakes in life, but it's knowledge. Now that someone knows, hey, you don't do that again, basically. But once you know this and you're doing it, and you're like, hey, I don't care. That's not going to happen to me. Oh my. I've seen this enough where people are with somebody, they're married, partner cheats while someone's having a pregnancy or just after. They don't care. They're a wild person. And then the kid has a health effect or, problems at school, or there's always something. It seems to always affect the children when there's that cheating. Why? Because that union is sacred, right? Women absorb, men give. So even just dating, when I was young, of course, growing up in New York, being a fireman, dude, I dated, I had girlfriends, this and that. I didn't care back then. It was a different time. But now, oh my God, once I had that knowledge, if you abuse that, I was like, I'm not doing that to my kids. There's no way. I can't take that chance of just, I'll date 5 people and who cares what happens. And like I'm 18 years old.
Right.
So just the knowledge of that, it affects the lineage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it kind of goes to sort of like the Jewish idea of that age of accountability.
Yeah.
It's like where you have your bar mitzvah, you have your bat mitzvah, like now you're an adult. So now you're responsible for your actions. When you're a child and you don't know any better and you lie or you hit someone or anything like that, like you treat it very differently.
Yes.
Like juvenile versus adult. An adult hits someone, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Like you now know the consequences of your actions and you're old enough to understand that.
Yes.
So now it's on you.
Exactly. And it comes with a giant responsibility, right? You're learning all this, you're doing this. That's why I was always skeptical with people that were really into this. Oh, I've been a medium for 20 years and they do readings and then after just say, they're drinking all night or they're getting hammered or doing coke or what. I'm like, bro, that's an attachment. You know what I mean? You're letting in an evil entity or whatever. Like you're giving people insight and then using after whatever. Like I said, doing this 20, 30 years, you can't be doing that stuff. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Hands-on healing, I don't let anyone touch me, bro. No. Why? It would be a rare case. I'd have to really know you. Well, why? Because I have heard enough stories of people walking by a window or going somewhere. Oh, someone says, come in. You have an attachment. I could heal you. Someone leaves and then a week later, like, I feel awful. Who'd you go to? Show me their profile. And they're a disaster. Yeah. And they're not. I go, do you want what they have? Everything.
Yeah.
No, I said, dude, they're taking their vibration, their frequency, right? Here or wherever it is, you're here. They meet you in the middle. Okay, so you're absorbing that. Say it's a female or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You're taking on that. So whatever crap they have they're not dealing with, you're going home with that, brother. So you better make sure that they have what you want, because I've seen enough people come to me after and they're like, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. Sometimes it might be too late. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know who you went to. All I know is I don't mess with those people. I stay away from anyone putting their hands on me.
Fuck, I went to this healer and I felt like shit for years after.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've heard this all over the world now.
What about like a massage?
So if they're like, doing Reiki and no, or anything energy, no. I don't let anyone put my hands on me. Massage, nothing.
Really?
I'm just saying, I haven't heard of people getting a massage and feeling awful, but healing or Reiki or whatever, there's one lady I know in New York that had an incredible gift. That's the only person, I won't even share her name, but she's private. Like, she's not even online, bro. Nothing, no profiles. I won't recommend anyone because, like, oh, so-and-so said you read them and you know them. I'm like, I don't know that. I don't know that person. They're just saying they knew me, but they're a mess or they're kicking their dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. Or someone, cheating, they got 5 girlfriends, you messing around with a client. Bro, that's out. That's out. Yeah. The way I was trained to do this by Robert Hansen, his dad was a New York City cop. He said, you want to do all that nonsense? You go do that somewhere else. We don't do that here. And that's how I was taught. Yeah. So people that know me, I'm all business. There's no nonsense with this. Someone's coming in, they're not well, they're grieving, they're going through all these things. You better deliver.
How do you keep yourself from taking that on if someone comes to you with that?
What do you mean with what?
Let's say you sit down with someone to do a reading or to do a work session with them and they have that dark energy to them, that low vibration, whatever that is.
So
how do you keep that from getting to you?
Most of the time, before they even come, I know. I just say, I'm busy. I can't.
I
can get an email from someone. I could get a message, whatever, and they're just writing or whatever, or they call me and I'm like, oh, I've had people come to my home on the spot. Hey, can I get a reading? Come in. Guy sat down. I said a couple things to him and he's like, no. I go, bro, you can leave. I don't need you, my goodbye. You're like, what's the point? You got to leave. He's like, oh, no, I guess I am not meant to be read. I go, not here. I'm good. I can't help you, man. I'm sorry. Have a great day.
Yeah.
So I used to, though, years ago, I would stay and try to convince them.
Yeah.
Why? Because I had this image in my mind. I used to, not now, but I have to be better than the guy that taught me. You know, I have to be better. I have to exceed him.
Would you say that was ego?
Oh, God, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But then eventually I heard a couple good mediums say, if someone comes in with that nonsense, goodbye.
Yeah.
Because when you get enough experience, you're comfortable enough to go, hey, man, it's okay. I just can't help you. Maybe you have to go.
Well,
and
it's
find
interesting because
another
that also brings up like a validation thing kind of too, where it's like you're sitting down with this person and you want them to think that you are something. And if they don't believe that about you, what does that mean about you?
Yes.
As opposed to being resolved in your own gift, whatever that is, whether you be an artist or whether you be a medium or whether you be whatever, knowing that you have that confidence in what you do, that's bigger than someone going, I don't think you're any good. Because, like, by the way, as an actor, Twitter only exists so people can talk shit, right? Healthy, well-adjusted people are not trolling anything on Twitter. So everything you see there, every time I get a job, every time I did a movie, Twitter would be like, he sucks, you know? And for a while, when I didn't have that, I don't know that confidence is the right word, but self-assuredness, that shit would stick. And I would carry that with me, you know? And even recently, like, you know, there was an announcement in Variety that, you know, I'm working again. And I'm gonna go do this film with this director named Uwe Boll. And Twitter exploded because they were like, he's the worst director of all time. That's not a fucking comeback.
Of course.
And my attitude towards it is like, I don't give a shit. Like, I've seen these guys' movies. Like, look, are all of them amazing? Like, not necessarily, but like, are some of them really good? Yeah. And at the same time, is this guy giving me a job? Okay, then let's put my ego aside and go, I'm grateful for this.
Yes.
I'm grateful I get to go do what I love. You know?
Yes. I think part of the process of, especially doing something, having it taken away, or I like to say giving it away.
Yeah.
You know, I've had things in my life happen where I didn't lose it. I just, I went overboard, or I was not interested anymore, so I wanted to try something else, gave that away. Then you got to, maybe you'll get it back, maybe you won't. You have a bad reading, somebody's not clicking, they're in your house, they leave. I still, even after the guy left, and I'm like, I remember saying to my wife, like, oh my God, what did I do wrong with it? And she's like, calm down, it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
Now, I highly recommend anyone that ever gets into this, you know, it's not easy, but you need guidance. When I got into this, I had a guy with 20 plus years experience who had been in and out, up and down the roller coasters, the waves, like people like to say a mentor, a sponsor, whatever you want to call him. The guy, I still have the utmost respect for, he's incredible. And I had someone to go to and go, what do I do? Oh my God, I went blank, blah, 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 you know, and he's like, just breathe. It's okay, breathe through it. Some days you're just not gonna feel good. If you're sick, don't read. You got something to do with your kids, do not cancel that, you know what I mean? Family first. I used to first read anyone, anytime, and this is for free. I'm like, I just want to do this, and I'd miss out on things. And now, no way, family first.
I like that.
So you know what you're going through now. So a lot of things you learn from, it's not worth that money, or who cares, dude? I'm not missing my daughter's dance recital. No way.
100%.
No way.
I just had to cancel a couple episodes of our podcast that we were going to shoot tomorrow because of these fires. Scheduling got all messed up, and now my son's birthday is going to be tomorrow, and my daughter's volleyball tournament is the next day. So like now where I was going to work over the weekend, like, sorry, something came up with my kids. And ultimately that's more important than anything else, you know?
1,000%. And it's hard to see that
Yeah.
when everything is, you got everything, it's right there. Everything's on high octane, all the opportunity in the world, you forget about this. Oh, I'll go to the next one. Oh, and then you're like, wow, I missed 3. Like, to make a couple, whatever. And then eventually, I always remember kids when they grow older, I could remember, wow, my parents were at all of my events. Like, you know, they did the best they could. My dad's working 2 jobs as a fireman. He was an electrician part-time. I did that too. My mom is a school teacher. My dad coached every sport I had. He was always there. Unless he had to work for some reason, he would get off if he could. My mom was always there. They drove me. My mom would get up at 5 a.m., drive me to hockey, you know, freezing cold, sitting there shivering. And I'm like, man, imagine she wasn't there and I had to get a ride home from someone else. I wouldn't want to be that kid to say, you were never there. You weren't there for me, to be that little snot. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Some people just have to work. Some people are single parents. And I'm like, I'm going to be there. I take my daughter to school. I pick her up. And people are like, what about this? What about TV? I said, I don't care about any of that, dude. This is going to work. I'm doing what I'm doing. Any of that stuff, we'll deal with all that nonsense later. That's secondary, bro. I'm happy. I got a family. Everyone's healthy. Who cares if I'm TV? Who cares about TV and some jerk telling me what I should be doing and not be doing? Don't say that. Don't go on it. Stop, dude. They're trying to control you. Once again, I don't want any part of that. I want to be me. I want to be organic. I know a lot of people, if I told them, hey, I'm coming to do this interview, no, you can't do that. That'll ruin you. I'm not telling anybody, bro. It's none of your business. That's my friend. You got a problem with him? Well, now you know. Now I got a problem with me. That's too bad. It's too bad, bro. That's just how it is. Because, and when all this stuff first went down with you, you know, we first met, all these things were just starting to form, starting to go to a head. And I remember, you know, talking to my mom. Oh, I told her, we met, we talked. She goes, oh, yeah, I know that. How's he doing? Is he okay? He's in the program, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, everything's okay. He's doing the right thing. And over the years, she always checked in. She goes, I have no problem you talking to someone like that. I know the guy's doing the right thing. That's it. You're around good people. You have good people around you. Yeah, Bill. I was just with her for Christmas, and I talked to her this morning. Oh my God, I can't wait to listen. You know, I told her. No, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. My wife knows. My mom knows, because those are the people. When the crap hit the fan, those are the people saying, just tell them keep doing the right thing. Keep doing the right thing. Talk to the right people, and then guidance or people, you know, that have an insight to some of the future. Now we can look back and go, hey, that happened or not. And things happen because you did the right thing. It's not, you know, for everyone, it's not easy to do when things keep going. It's not happening. It's not happening. I heard a great metaphor. When a wave comes in, just before it hits shore, it pulls everything back out. And then that beautiful wave rolls in.
You get that one, producer Jerry?
Everything goes back out to sea, all the garbage, the trash, all the stuff in the sea, and that beautiful wave comes in. Then you could ride it on a surfboard, right? That's like going through a horrible time in life. You need to clear that out. So that's all you went through. I've gone through it. I've lost people. As a kid, okay, 9/11, my dad was working that day. He was down at the World Trade Center. I'm working as an electrician in the Hamptons. I was in the Coast Guard, just got out of the Coast Guard. I'm working in the Hamptons as an electrician, living in a 3-story mansion on the beach on Dune Road, 79 Dune Road, East Quogue. Look it up. A beautiful house. It's still there. I'm at my job. All of a sudden, listen to Howard Stern. Plane hits the World Trade Center. What? Nah, he's joking around. Someone's breaking chops, right? I go to get coffee. Another plane hit. I go, oh my God. I call my dad's firehouse. I had a feeling in my gut. I didn't talk to him the day before. I go, my dad is there. I know I knew it. He's at the Trade Center. I call the firehouse. Yeah, this is Andrew, man. Is Richie there? They're like, they're relocated to Manhattan. My dad worked in Brooklyn. I'm like, oh my God. Now, of course, I wanted to believe he was okay, but you don't know.
Sure.
There were no radios. He didn't have a cell phone. I go back to the mansion I was staying in, right? We are watching the buildings fall. I'm like, oh my God. One of my roommates, her husband was in the CIA. Right when this happened, this is what she said to me. She goes, I just talked to my husband on the phone. He claimed, this is what he claimed, the flight in New York, there were guys with red headbands around their head, and they had machetes, and they were decapitating people. This is what she told me right away. Now, I don't know if that happened. This is just what we heard. So this is what we're thinking. Oh my God, what is going on? The end of the world? 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I don't hear from Dad. I'm like, oh my God. Then I hear all these firemen got lost. Finally, like 1:30, 2 in the afternoon, my mom calls, I just talked to him. Ugh. My heart hit the ground, bro. I was like, oh my God. The next thought that came into my head, I wish I was in there helping. I wasn't a fireman yet. I was just an electrician. And I said, I'm getting that freaking job. I don't care what I got to do. And I started training. I took the test. I got 100 on the written, 100 on the physical. I trained for 5 years from 9/11, when that happened. I got on in April of 2006. Okay, so I worked my tail off to get in. People I knew that I grew up with saw that attack happen. They said, nah, it's good, bro. I'm not doing that. You're crazy, bro. That's going to happen again. I said, that's on you, bro. If you know that's the test, right? You either want to go in or not. And I lost friends, family, people I consider family, guys like that, well, uncles, guys I grew up with around the firehouse. One of my best friends, Keith Fairbairn, was EMT. He was down there that day. His parents called him, Keith, are you okay? He said, Mom, I'm at the World Trade Center. I'll call you right back. He went back in, the tower fell. Oh, fuck. My dad's company that day. So I talked to him later. What happened? They said one plane hit. They go to the roof of the firehouse. They see the second plane go in. They go, oh my God. They hop on the rig. They drive down. They go to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. The engine in my dad's house, my dad was in the truck, ladder 102. The engine gets there first. The engine goes through, right? They go through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. They're walking down the block. A guy jumps from like the 90th floor or whatever, hits and kills a fireman, Danny Sir.
Jesus.
From the next house over from my dad, engine 216. You can look this up, true story. My dad's company, ladder 102, 209, they're right there. They start trying to revive the guy, Danny Sir. As they're trying to work on him, the building they were just going to walk in falls.
Whoa.
My dad's company, the engine and truck, is the only company in Bed-Stuy, that area, that everyone lived that day. Every single house in the area, pretty much everyone got killed. Like, are you kidding me? So my dad had to live with that survivor's guilt. And I'm a kid. I'm 21. Like, my mom's like, you want to do it? Like, I support you, but like, oh my God, like, I'm not leaving New York. Like, how can I? Oh my God. And I go, I'm doing it. That's it, man. So that was an introduction I had to getting on the FDNY. And I get in 2006, right? Guy standing in front of me, Michael Riley. We graduate. Michael Riley goes to 75 engine in the Bronx, goes to his first fire. And I'll never forget this. When we were still in the academy, they go, look to your left, look to your right. You're looking at the next chief of department, the next lieutenant, the next funeral you're going to go to.
Wow.
We graduate. Mike Riley goes to 75 engine, goes to his first fire, gets killed.
Wow.
Put the fire out, 99-cent store, AC unit crashes through, puts him into the basement. He got crushed to death with the lieutenant. They died. First fire. I went to, oh my God, 50 fires my first year. And you just never know, like, who knows?
Yeah.
But we talked about not returning, right? Not getting back on the hero's journey. I know a lot of guys with dealing with that grief and all that stuff, not the right way, drinking, drugs, whatever. And I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying, not everyone gets to come back, man.
Yeah.
This is so sacred and special. As long as you're alive, I don't care what you're doing. You're alive, you're healthy. Who cares about all that nonsense? Because you don't know.
Yeah.
And I was around that so like all the time, man. Guys I worked at, guys I was around. One of my bosses got killed once. Had to, take care of his kids, his wife after. Like, that's just part of the job. But that also helped me in the funeral home. It helped me, I really believe, as what I'm doing now. It all, for whatever reason, in my head, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm married, I'm happy, I'm healthy. I'm sitting here. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I think about, wow, how life-changing, the support and the friends you have.
Yeah.
Incredible, man. Sorry to rant on that, but yeah.
Dude, please.
9/11 was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing just what you said about the sitting right here thing. And I think about that a lot in terms of all of the things that happen in all of our lives that we look at in the moment and go, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And then when you get a sense of perspective, you see this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, And that analogy you were talking about right before the wave hits, everything sucks back. Jerry and I were just talking about that this morning.
Wow.
Because Jerry is personally extremely affected by the fire that happened. He just lost all of his stuff.
Oh, man.
And it wasn't even in his house. His house is in like a be ready to evacuate area. But recently he took all of his personal stuff because he's selling his house and put it in a buddy of his garage.
In the Palisades.
In the Palisades.
Oh,
And now it's all gone. Like the house is leveled, all of his stuff gone. And I mean, my heart breaks for Jerry. Like this is a difficult thing for a lot of people in Los Angeles that they're going through. And like we all know I know probably over a dozen people who've lost their homes. And Jerry's lost all of his stuff, and it's like, but I was reading to Jerry this morning. I was like, this really reminds me of the Rumi, the Sufi mystic poet Rumi. He's got a poem called The Guest House. It's quick. I'm going to read it to you.
Yeah, of course.
But it talks just about that. Let me see if I can find this. Give me 1 second.
There is clearly, while he's looking, there's clearly a message in all of this for me. I mean, obviously, don't be attached to stuff. But also, I'm looking for that greater message.
Of course.
Anyway, go ahead, Armie.
So this is the Rumi, The Guest House by Rumi. The human being is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of all of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. That idea that in our house, sometimes we have these things, you know, he's talking about them being emotional visitors that come. Whatever emotions come to you, a sorrow that sweeps all of your furniture out of your house, still welcome that in, because it might be clearing you out for something beautiful in it. You know?
In 2010, I was living on the beach in Long Beach, Long Island, oceanfront. I'm like, I'm done. I'm staying here forever.
Yeah.
In the moment I was in, just happened to be the person I was with at the time. I want a house. I don't want a house. We're on the beach. It's perfect. It's heaven, right? We buy the house. Of course, right after, boom, giant hurricane comes. Gigantic, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever it was. The next year, Hurricane Sandy comes. My house is underwater. My home, my belongings, everything underwater in Long Beach. The ocean met the bay, and I'm right in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm not even home to do anything. My neighbors, people around me helped out. However, I couldn't understand. I'm obviously a person now. No judgment, no hard will against them at all. Just at the moment, they're not a part of my life now. It is what it is. But literally, things washed away that I think things are destroyed. My basement completely gutted, gone, everything. Boiler, brand new boiler, brand new one. You got to get washer, dry, everything gone. Everything gone, dude. I put my life savings into that. Everything gone. Yeah. And then right after that, oh, now, you know, with that person, literally, I lose everything. I just get the house refixed enough to move into. I said, I'm going to have Christmas at my home. And the person I'm with literally the next day said, yeah, I don't want to be anymore. It's over. Oh, I got to call my family. Christmas is canceled. But at the time, I was not happy. I was destroyed, of course. But I don't regret any of it because I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I would have been in a situation maybe that I couldn't have been in touch with who I am now and express myself because the person I'm with, based on their profession, we can't talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
People at work will think I'm weird or whatever. No judgment. I'm just saying at the time, I didn't know. I knew what I knew. Now, oh my God, I don't regret any of it. It's just all part of the journey. I wouldn't have my daughter. My daughter wouldn't, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I wouldn't change it for anything. So right now, you know, going here, taking my daughter out, doing things, traveling with her, you can't beat any of that. Nothing can replace that. Yeah. But that wreckage, right? The wreckage of the past or the current, right? Things that are going on right now, I have cleaned up. Yeah. You know, that's what I did for a living, you know, and then humans, taking care of people that departed or people that get sick after, all these things. Oh my God, COVID, all these things that I've been through. They teach us something at a core level that cannot be placed into words from the average person. Sometimes it takes the after. Sometimes it takes 2 years later till you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
But if you trust the process, I hate that expression, trust the process. I like to help create the process. Hey, I'm going to get to work. I'm not going to sit on my butt and go, all right, God, do your thing. Jesus, help me out. And nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you get to work and you keep the right people around you, doors will open and those other ones close.
Yeah.
But if you do nothing and think, I'm just going to stay straight and just not leave my house, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, you got to meet them halfway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have someone in your life that you want to make amends with, or you want to, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you're probably going to have to meet them in the middle.
Sure.
They're not just going to appear and go, oh, I forgive you for everything. No, you got to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you want to repair something, whatever it is, hey, show up, be present. Yeah. If they reject you or whatever, hey, keep your side of the street clean.
Yeah.
Right? So I think a lot of people of what they're going through, it puts things into perspective. And I don't want to say for a second that this thing was an act of God or I don't want to say that anyone did this. I think we're here on earth. We're subject to the free will of others making horrible decisions. We've all done them. And then disasters. People were lighting fires, right? We know that. There were fires being lit by humans.
Sure.
That's not God. That's not nothing above. But I think what you go through in the process and how you recover, you're going to see people that bail or the ones that step up. I saw online people saying, do not come to LA. Don't come near here. I'm like, dude, what if people want to come help?
Yeah.
Tell them, dude, when these things used to happen and the FDNY is on the way here, they always come. I've been part of those teams. We've traveled. We've done those things. We've helped out. That's what you do. It's not about where and look at where I am. My dad went down to Katrina. You know, that's what you do. When I was underwater for months, we were gutting each other's houses. I'm not going on Facebook posting about it.
Sure.
It ain't about that.
Yeah.
It's about helping your neighbor and helping everyone. I don't want anything in return.
Yeah.
Okay? So you do what you can. You got to take care of your family first. But I just came from the school of my dad and the people I was around. You always help. What do you need? And then, of course, you have to remember about you too, because you can get lost and maybe you don't wake your way back. So if you have people to check in with, people that love you, that look out for you, you got to check in with each other. So whatever you're going through, I don't know your situation, how well I honestly, I've never met, I don't know anything about Jerry. I'm just saying you guys are doing something. I would say there's a bond or something, but you got to check in and be there because there's going to be a lot of unexpected things that arise that we can't even think of at this moment.
Oh, there's a big bond between producer Jerry and
Excellent.
We met when I was 18 or 19 at Burning Man.
Wow. Oh,
Totally
wow.
random.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea he was such a pup.
Yeah, I was a young kid, dude. But I mean, tell the story about how we met.
We were at Burning Man. It was about 3 a.m. I was riding my bike in the middle of Deep Playa. I don't know if you know much.
Oh, I know about Burning Man. Yeah, sure.
So Deep Playa is several miles in the middle of nowhere in pitch black darkness when my bike chain broke. And I'm in full costume, probably in a mini skirt, something ridiculous. And I'm like, fuck, probably a little high, probably a lot high. And you just think, oh man, this is going to suck. This walk back is really going to suck. Because it's literally darkness. I mean, you can see the town, Black Rock City in the far distance, but you're like, this is going to take a long time. And all of a sudden I hear, hey man, turn around, it's Armie. You need a lift? I'm like, it's my fucking hero. He's my Superman in a cape.
You never knew who was just going to show up, right?
I towed him back to camp.
He towed me back to camp.
Yeah. And like we've just been super close ever since. Yeah.
I love that. It's interesting because my best friend in the world, we've done things like that. He's from a little place in Wisconsin. Okay, I'm from New York. How do I meet somebody in Wisconsin? We met in Florida at a music fest. We became instant best friends, stayed close and we used to do all things like that, which, you never forget, you never lose touch. You always want to stay close to those people. It's sometimes you meet in the most random places, but I know if the world was going to end or I was jammed, the guy would, no question. What do you need me to do? I don't want, you don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to, but I know I can count on him and he's seen me through everything, no judgment. It's hard to find those people.
Well, when you find those people, like those are your people. And like, that's it. And don't fuck it up. Yeah. There's that great scene in The Town where Ben Affleck goes to Jeremy Renner's house and he knocks on the door and he opens up and he goes, listen, I need your help. We got to go hurt some people and you can't ask me about it afterwards. Are you in? And Jeremy Renner just sits there and goes, are we taking your car or mine? And you're just like, yes. Okay, I want to get to, is there anything that you're able to sort of like see or discern or read or even just get a general sense about like what's going on with these fires in LA? Like we have a schedule that we want to release all these podcasts in, but the fact that you, a psychic firefighter, is here in Los Angeles when these fires are going on, like we're pushing this out.
It ain't an accident.
Yeah, no, none of it is.
No, of course not.
Right? But like this is going out on Sunday. So Sunday night. So I'm curious, is there anything that you're getting about these fires in Los Angeles?
So, like I said, this year goes technically till January 29th. Okay. That's the end of the calendar. So I knew at some point, of course I couldn't say, hey, I don't have an exact date, but something's going to, no, now that it's here, okay, it happened, it is what it is, but we know, wow, it did happen in the year. People have been talking about this, so I'd say till that time frame, around the 29th, till this settling. Now, obviously, some people are going to be going through, they're going to get anything back. I don't know insurance, I don't know what people's situations fall.
So fucked.
Oh my God. Now, you, right where you are though, I really do feel this safe haven. Now, what are the chances I made it here and was able to get to this location with everything going on and no drift, no, hey, evac, there's no coincidence. So this is meant, once again, we've known each other long enough, we've been through things that this is meant to be for some reason. But I feel that, there'll be a turning point. Obviously the wind's got to die down, they got to get some rain, right? Or whatever the situation is with water, or they're going to get more companies, or maybe they get the Department of Defense or help them with that. I don't think it'll be as long as, I'm not saying further into February, I'm thinking towards the end of the month, because you're still in the year.
Right.
I don't know what else might arise. I can't tell you what lunatic's going to go light fires, because that's like, whoa, dude. But
they've been arresting people for that now.
I know, and the looting and all that stuff. So I'd say stay safe till the end of that month. But then obviously when February kicks in and you get into that new calendar year, that's like, okay, now you're out of their enemies.
That
so
karmic
the
year.
shift. And this is not Andrew Radziewicz just talking smack. These are things that as well can be looked up. Wow, good numerologist will be talking about this too. There's the change, so now the new energies come in. Yeah, there's always a little residual. They could be, because you're still dealing with an after effect. It doesn't vanish at the end of the month. But there will be a change. If this happened in September, I didn't say to you, don't do the podcast, now. I didn't say wait till this month. I didn't say that.
Right.
I said towards the end of the year, and you told me around this time. I said, that's perfect, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't say wait. I didn't say wait until January. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I said right now, do it now. That's good timing. Just make sure it's on the 28th because you got to jump start. I didn't know this is coming. I didn't have any heads up. Of course, I would have went on Instagram Live. Said, hey, this is going on. Yeah. I'm not God. I don't have that ability. But when things start to level out, usually it's in sync with that. Now, of course, whoever you have around you, it's just the two of you doing this project. You don't have anyone else?
No, we've got other people on the team.
Yeah. So
good team though.
It's a great team. All of people who I've connected with the same way Jerry and I have connected. We've got Chris, who's one of my old friends here in LA. He and I used to be maniacs together, and then he got clean and sober. Then he helped me get clean and sober, and like our kids are friends. He now lives in Connecticut. He's from New York originally, but and then we've got Mad Max, who's like this frenetic, crazy genius, and we've got Steve, who's like the quietest dude you've ever met, who just kind of like sits there and logs everything that's going on, and then every now and then will just say one thing, and it's the funniest shit you've ever heard in your life.
Our text chain it's
amazing.
It's been therapy for me in so many ways.
Yeah.
And then
it's a great team.
Yeah.
It's a great team.
Max is
And by the way, when I told the whole team, they were like, all right, we're ready to launch. And I was like, okay, it's got to be by the 28th. And they go, okay, we'll get it done. And then on like the 27th, they were like, we got to push it a week.
Oh,
because like we just need to make sure that we get this and that and the protocol for this and that, lockdown and this and that. And I go, we can't push it a week. I go, it either comes out this 28th or next 28th.
So we pushed it a month.
And they were like, why are you pushing it a month? And I go, because a psychic firefighter who controls UFOs told me to do it. And to their credit, everyone was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whose car are we taking?
Yeah, whose car are we taking?
Well, it either works or it doesn't, and you look back, and what I tell people, right, that I say, is everything always 100%? No, because you're dealing with humans, and a lot of them don't listen, and they do think, oh, I thought you said this or that, or it didn't matter, or I did it after midnight. It was technically the next day, and I'm like, dude, what do you do? Like, this is a big deal, bro. Make sure it goes on this day. You got to do it exact. Wait, it's worth the wait, okay? It's a couple days or a month. Just do it, because once again, if you're in something for long term, wait. If you said, bro, I'm jammed, we got to push it off a week, I'd give you a different number. But it wouldn't be the same. So people listening, what's that number? Any number that equals 8. 8, 17, 26 means money. However, long-term wealth, 28, no exception. Okay. No exception. Rolex, there's not 8s on it, there's 28s, you know?
Was it you that told me a lot of the royal families will actually make sure that their kids are born on the 28th?
So if you look at the royal families, they will have C-sections to have their children, usually born on the 11th. No, the 11th. Why? 11s are very influential people. Joe Rogan, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
A lot of you look these people up. 11s, they're very influential. So that's very influential. But if they want a money pot or whatever, they have how could they all be born on the 11th? That's impossible, bro.
Yeah.
They're doing it on purpose. So 11, 22, 33 are what are called master numbers.
Yeah.
Those are people.
Or angel numbers too. Or that's three digits.
Yeah, that's different. Basically, I would say that people like reincarnation and stuff, if you're born on the 11th, 22nd or 3rd, your birthday adds up to 11, 22, 33 basically.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of people born on the 33rd.
Yeah.
No.
No, adding up all the numbers, if it really adds up to that, for example, if it adds up to that means that you've been recycled, you've gone through your karmic debt. So you're a master of your craft.
You get a free pass on this one?
Yeah, 33 size. For example, I was talking with somebody about writing a book. I didn't know this guy, and I didn't know about numerology. And I'm like, wow, this guy's amazing, man. He's really squared away. He's got his thing. I looked up his birthday lady. He's a 33 life path. I go, yep, that's a guy I want to work with. I didn't know, though. I didn't say I want to work with you because of that.
Wait, life path number. Is that all part of like gene keys and like that kind of stuff?
So if you take your birthday, right, just say it's November 1st, 1964. You add up
how do I find out what my life path number is?
Yeah, so your birthday, right? You could say it out loud if you like, right?
August 28th.
Right, so you take the...
1986.
Yeah. So the August 8, right?
Yeah.
Plus 2 is... 8 plus 2 is 10. Yeah. Plus 8 is 18. And then what year?
86.
Okay, 18 plus 1 is 19. Plus 9 is 28. And then 8 is 36. And you said 6, 42?
Yeah.
right? Total. So 4 plus 2 equals 42, but that's not a number. You add it up. 4 plus 2 is 6. So
Okay.
overall is 6. 6, for example, is the number of home and family. You love your kids to death.
More than anything.
Now, I'm just saying, unfortunately, not everyone does,
right.
you know, but you're about home and family with what you're doing. And I don't wish on anyone going through anything horrendous or awful, but I really do feel that
6.
You know now how important home and family is, and your kids especially, right?
Yeah.
You went through what you went to now you 1,000% realize that. That it has to be essential with whatever you do. You can't subtract from it. Whereas other people are like, oh, it's I don't know, it's not a big deal. You know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But you have that bond. And I know, man, I know your family. You're tight with your family, man.
Yeah.
You got a good family around. You're lucky, man. A lot of people don't. A lot of people have messed up. I got a big Irish family. No, you know, it can be wacky. Some love each other, some don't, whatever. But not everyone comes from a good family, man. You've always had close people around you. But yes, so if you add up your birth date, if you just add up those numbers, you get that. I wanted to ask you a question. Now, it's up to you whether you cut this out or leave it. This is just something personal.
Sure.
Is it okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
I always ask permission. I don't know this guy. I want to be clear. I don't know you. We've never met. Nothing like that.
Nope.
I brought up my best friend, Tim Tabat. You guys can look this up. He lives in St. Croix. And I met him. He was living in Wisconsin. Then he lived near Minneapolis, St. Paul. This keeps coming up. So as I'm looking at you, right? As I walk in the room, as I'm around somebody, and like I said, I don't ask. Sometimes I'm just around somebody and I'll get an impression or I'll see something. What I'm getting through, now I'm having someone come through in that same context. So my best friend, so someone close to you, meaning this doesn't have to be a brother, but somebody like a brother, somebody close to you, a close friend, okay? This is what I was getting. They rarely speak to me, but I could see scribbles. Sometimes I could see scribbles. So I'm like, what does that mean? What I'm just getting around is the letter D. Okay, this is somebody that is transition, somebody on the other side. But what is important about this? They're expressing that they're with their brother. So let me just ask you this. Do you know somebody close to you, somebody that passed, that is on the other side with their brother?
I know somebody very close to me this past that was like my brother.
Did they have a sibling? A brother?
They're both alive.
Okay, I want you to just...
Yeah, I need to get into that.
I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I don't like to be like that, but this is just what they're expressing to me. I'm just seeing an arm going out. That usually means they're with a sibling. Now, it could have been very young, could have been somebody, but I'm getting an arm going out like that. That usually is certain that they're with somebody, okay? A sibling. Blood, not like distant, you know, third cousin removed, no, but the arm is going out here. I'm just getting a D. This is, but of the person that passed, the D. The connection with them, the arm going out like that, is the brother that's around them. Now, if you know, do you know when they transitioned? Do you know if it was summertime? Was it warm out? Okay. Why am I saying that? Because I'm just seeing the sun. Now, in addition to that, with this person passing, that time of year, I'm getting a lot of activity. So there's either another birthday or passing around that time, close to you. Is that accurate? Okay. Now, I want to be clear. I don't know this. I don't know him.
Yeah.
I've never met, I don't know him. We've never talked. You never told me anything about him. You just said my producer, Jerry. I have no pride. I don't know anything, but I'm getting activity around. So, for example, they'll show me, I see like a calendar coming and I just see a lot of activity around there, right? So the first thing was summer and this thing just, we just talked about a 6, right?
Yeah.
Your 6 life path. Do you know if any of the birthdays, passings, or when this person passed, or the other birthday or passing, would have been on a date that is a 6 or equals a 6, meaning 24, 6, anything that adds up to a 6, so it'd be 6, 24, anything like that. It can't be 33, obviously. Any date like that, 24, because I'm just getting a 6 energy with this. If you don't know, it's okay.
Yeah,
but I'm just seeing that.
I have to think.
So either their birthday was on the 24th, or like I said, the 6th or 24th, but it's connected to this. And that's because that just came up with you. But again, it's not you. This is separate. So someone's either born on that day or they passed 24th or like that. I'm just getting that 6 energy. Okay.
My cousin Rich died. He's crazy. He said St. Croix in Minneapolis or Wisconsin because he died inner tubing on a river, drowned in a dam.
Wow.
Was like my brother, same age.
And I don't know anything about your background, but usually if I see a location, you know, like I'm saying, why am I seeing my best friend Tim? He's alive. I just want to be clear, he's alive. But I'm like, specifically a location. I went to visit him there. I've been there. Went to the Twin Mall, you know, the giant mall. Went to a wedding at the aquarium. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing that location. Do you have any tie to that location or that area?
Tons.
Okay, I have no clue. I think you're from
You're talking
LA, I
about the
have no
Mall
idea.
of America?
Yeah.
We both grew up about
Exactly.
a mile from there.
So I went to a wedding in an aquarium. It was in a giant mall. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I've been there. My friend Michelle Zwolinski got married there. But my best friend Tim met me, and I spent the whole week with him. We've been all over the world together. So I'm talking, this guy would die. We die for each other. Like that, my friend, like that. That's a kind of bond I'm seeing.
Absolutely.
Right? So not an occasional friend, not somebody you just knew, occasionally go, no, I die for this guy. Me and this guy, this is the kind of relationship we had. I don't do business with, I try not to do, years ago, I try not to do any business with friends. I did business with my best friend though. I would pay for his flight to come see me. If he was going through hell, no problem, you got it. Whatever he needs, man, I take care of him, he took care of me. Vice versa. He had nothing, I'd always fly him out to New York, whatever he needed. Your friend, you're this male figure with the deep person that's coming through. Would you know, okay, I'm seeing, this is like a plaque or something with a name etched in. This is just what I'm seeing, the imagery, right? It's on the other side when they communicate with me, it's in black and white. So it's very hard to figure out. At least this is the way it works for me. So if there's colors, I have a different way of coding it. I don't want to get into that now, but basically I'm trying to decode what this is, but I'm pretty sure what I'm seeing is a plaque, and this is either a circle of like, you know, gold or silver or something like that, but there's a name etched in. Would your friend at some point have either gotten an award or something etched in with his name?
See, my dad shared the same name as my cousin.
Okay.
Richard.
Yes.
But my dad always went by Dick.
Oh, wow. Okay, yep.
And my dad was very proud of this particular plaque. That's now, my sister just showed me. She found it. I went back for Christmas.
Wow. So, right, like there's no way on earth that I could.
What's the plaque?
It's the coat of arms for our family.
Right. And you notice I didn't say what kind of plaque it was because just so you know, man, anyone can do this. I was a fireman, bro. Nothing. But through meditation, this shit just opened up. So I just trust what I'm seeing. I don't give more than what I'm seeing. I didn't say, oh, it was for his job. I don't know. They just show me this etching, but there's etching with the name. So I describe exactly what I'm seeing.
Well, an etching with a name, family.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it can be
arms,
family, but sometimes, for example, they'll show me something specifically like a war plaque, or I didn't say that. I just said I see an etching with a name. That's in your house or somebody's house or whatever, and you just saw that recently, or that is amazing.
Yeah.
Because that's a great validation. That's not something that, an average person would know. That's something intimate. So you have there's several people around you, right? There's not just one, two. There's a couple people around you. This is how
a lot of people close to me died.
I know I talked before about a brother, right? So a brother, and you didn't know at the time. Do you know if your mom ever had miscarried or had an early term like that? Anything early?
What did I tell you this morning, Armie?
Yeah. You tell Andrew, bro.
She had a early term pregnancy, a tubal pregnancy that they had to perform a hysterectomy. She lost half of her side, so they never thought I or my sister would be born. Here we are.
So, with everything else going on, right? With these just things that just came up, this further details of what you're going through. That number one, you made it. You're right. You're alive. We're here. We're talking. Right? We have all of our organs, all of these things, but you have you two guys collectively, and the people, of course, people you're working with. There is a much, much deeper thing at play here. I'm talking, and like I said, you don't put this on camera. It's totally up to you, bro. I don't care. I tell you the truth always, but where you're going with this, I'm not fucking around. It is limitless. And I don't say that shit. When I'm reading and picking things up, I'll tell people, hey, man, this isn't your year. And then I'll go, what's your birthday? And I'm like, do you see the reinforcement? Like, dude, it's your enemy and not happening? No. This is limitless. Why? I don't even know anyone's birthday. You don't have to tell me now. We could figure that out later. But you're going to have people, I'm one of them, but you have people around you whose birth cycle year is going to be coming up. So you tap into that. You stay in touch with them. This is going to magnify. This is also going to give you guys, I'm not telling you what to do. I don't tell anyone what to do. You got free will. I'm just saying this is a great opportunity for you guys to also, in some way or form, and I'll be doing this too, to give back.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm not saying how, like, a percentage, helping, whatever. It's not about what I'm doing this, but to give back, to help, to, sometimes people will take 5% of their, whatever it is, whatever you got to do, the right thing internally. But this is the chance, because you don't know, there's someone waiting, it's several, but especially, I see one waiting in particular, way worse off. You're not even thinking of it at this moment, but way worse off by helping out or offering. You're going to be helping them. And then you're not asking for anything in return, but what's going to come back is going to go, holy shit, I couldn't have thought of that. It's because you did it out of the goodness of your heart. Talked before about money or people doing things money motivated. You got to be careful. Once again, we're not doing anything wrong with dates and times, but if you're like, yo, I want to get 10 racks or 10 mil, I would have a talk with you first. Like, okay, bro, but there's something that comes with that, as opposed to, oh, I just want to have wealth get attracted to me. That's different, because wealth can come in the form of money, guests, people, relationships, health, health, wealth. I don't give a shit about anything unless I'm healthy, but also healing. This is very important. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or anything like that. I respect your family. People have gone through things. Doesn't matter what they went through in life. On the other side, they want to communicate with us more than we want to with them. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my God.
I want to communicate with them. I just cannot connect to them.
It's not easy, right? We don't know. We don't have the tools. We don't have that awareness. But I'm just saying, we're here doing it. Most people, they're just like, Netflix. Oh, there's fires on. Oh shit, I got to go to work tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm in Wisconsin. I'm just saying, I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Florida. I got other shit going on. I'm too busy, bro. I'm not being judgmental, but when the shit happened in North Carolina, I don't think people were fleeing from here to go help in North Carolina. I don't know.
You're right.
I'm just being real. Why? Because I've been on the other end of it, and we're like, where's the help? And I don't ask anyone for anything. You just show up. This is a good reminder of, oh my God, this is a collective thing. What you're doing here, dude, I'm in Melbourne, Australia. You know what I mean? Dude, people I know that love you and have been my wife, family, friends around me that have been, no matter what happens, if nothing happens, the whole time my wife was like, tell him to come here anytime. I remember telling you, dude, you need to get out, come. No one has to know. You can stay on the beach, bro. No one will know you're here.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's this. It's not about that. The guy's going through something, and I know what that's like. So now, it's not the exact same thing, but losing something, that loss of a loved one, and then this, it can compound, okay? So at a soul level, it's really important right now to process all that shit. This is what I always recommend to people when like, hey, how do I do that? I talked before about sitting quiet before you go to bed. That's a very good way. Or after we met, I said, go outside, just, call out, open. Maybe the skies aren't good right now, but at some point, openly speak, kind of like a CE5. That's a very good way to get some contact. Or I do it inside. I just stay in, I get quiet, and then the orbs appear. And for me, I feel that there are loved ones because I'm calling Graham, Uncle this, Uncle Pete. Boom, boom. After people die, literally, I'll sit inside, or before I get the call that they died, I'll see orbs and I go, someone just died. Like it's daytime. I'm like, there's 2 orbs, 2 people just died. I know it. I'll get a call, hey man, 2 firemen got killed in a fire in Manhattan. I'm like, holy shit. So just stick with it, go through this. But this really is transformative. And you can go through life, you can get some immediate gratification, get something, if you got your house rebuilt tomorrow, I'm not saying you, but most people are like, oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just going to keep going. But then there's others that truly see what goes on, the time all the first responders are missing from their families. I mean, it's a gift we're here, right? But we had to do this. This is what it is. But this also is going to be taken and applied to them. Your loved ones around you, and I'm talking several, bro, like an army, literally an army, man. That is an army. That is an army around you, literally of people that are there. And it's in these moments. Let me ask you this. When the shit was going on, I don't know if you know about recovery or anything like that, or aha moments, but did you have a moment or like a realization or anything, and any sort of mini awakening or anything like that? You experienced anything like that this time?
Only that I just had a real yearning to be there and be helping, but just felt like I can't. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a problem worse or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to do war correspondence work, and same kind of thing. Like I used to love to tell those stories, even though it was really dangerous. Just communicating people's lives and stories.
And So we talked about angel numbers before. Have you ever seen numbers like that around you before?
111, 11, 11.
The next word out of my mouth, this is connected to your friend though. Okay, I talked before about like a best friend. The number 11 or 1111 is coming up. So there's a tie with 11 or 1111s with that person specifically. So I want you to, after, right, because you may not know this on the surface, ask around, ask family, what in relation to 11, 11, 11, but something with 11 with the friend. And now it might be with family too, but specifically the friend. Why? Because I see that with my friend Tim too. I always get 11 or 11, 11. I'll be thinking about him, calling him. But there's a lot more synchronicities with this person, with that number specifically. And there'll be more going forward. Have you noticed 11s, 11, 11s, you said?
Constantly.
Amazing. So, right, that's getting your attention. That's getting your awareness, right? You're going to start to see the numbers shift. So you talk about what's going on now, the numbers will change. So if you start seeing repetitive numbers, why am I seeing 222, 333? A real easy way to know, basically just go on your phone, Google it. That's the simplest. Or text me, hey bro, what's going on? I keep seeing 333s, 555. What's going on? 555, things coming, changes coming. Oh my God, big changes coming. Like super duper duper. You know, also even as far as friends or number of friends you have, you can apply that too with numerology. Follow 280 people, the 560 or whatever equals to 28. That's another way to amplify. All your social medias change that. Whoever follows you, that's up to you, but you're following, do numerology with that, trust me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's another cheat code, 280, that's 28.
Yeah.
Eliminate the 0. That's another way to do it. But like I said before, I'm seeing these 11s, especially with your friend that transitioned. Did he have a partner or a significant other?
No, he was single. And by the way, this is my cousin, so maybe we're talking about somebody else that I'm just not thinking of.
What about the guy, your lead singer?
This person?
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
His name is Dale.
D.
So let me just refresh. I right away I said D. You can look this up again, but D, he's saying he's with his brother on the other side.
Oh my God. His brother Harlan died before he did.
That's it. See, before we asked about a name and he just wasn't, and that's okay if you're not certain, but I knew it was this. That's why I kept pushing this. I said the friend, right? I said the friend. 11 with, still 11 with the friend. He's saying 11, 11, but specifically 11. Like, you know, I'm seeing the show Stranger Things, the character. So I'm like, what's going on with this 11? It's all around you. Hey, man, I send my love and regards, you know, with everything. And I'm sure there was awful to experience and losing someone close to you. You were friends with this person or?
I mean, we were rock stars together.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
oh my God.
We did it all. And then we started a company.
Okay. So I talked before as well, right? So I know I talked before about etching, right? Or a name in that. Before I talked about a circle. Let me ask you this. I don't know what you guys actually, you said rock stars, whatever. Would you guys or him, was ever an award or a record? I don't know what they make, but something, a circle would be a circle.
I mean, tons of records.
Like a record or hit record
Tons
maybe
of
or something.
records.
Doesn't your logo have a circle in it for Wild Flutter?
Think of it offhand.
The WF on your wall, it's got a circle.
Oh, it's yeah. It's kind of like an atom. It looks like an atom.
Yep. So like I said, it's interesting. Now, something I did too. I lived in Staten Island years ago, a brief period of time, whatever. And for some reason, I'm just seeing this. So there was a brief. This is just an oddball thing, right? Like I'm like, why am I seeing this? But when I first started doing this, I would never tell you this. I'm like, this sounds fucking nuts. Like, no one's gonna believe this or say you didn't do that or whatever. I coach kids hockey.
Yeah.
Okay. No one knows this. No one ever has heard this, but I coached kids hockey. Okay, young kids. You know if your friend liked hockey or did?
Oh my God. Headlines for Gutty Goulet, the goalie. His last name was Goulet. Dale.
Amazing. That's it. So, why am I saying myself coach? That's a specific thing. Coaching. I played too, but coaching. I coached young kids. So ask around, find out. I don't know if you ever coached or whatever, but I coached kids. It was the greatest time of my life. That was the most amazing thing in Staten Island.
Sons.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh, so I said he had a partner or a significant other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's him. So Dale, right? Your friend or best friend. Talked about brother. So his brother, I don't know if it was before him or at some point, there's younger brother or brother that's coming through, correct?
Both died of the same brain disease.
Oh my God. That's it. So that's definitely him. Now, I'm not saying anything else that was coming through isn't accurate around you, but I think what I was nailing at first.
No, that's it. That feels... Like I was questioning the
It's okay.
other thing, but yeah, this feels. Yeah.
When like I said, I was seeing my best friend, Tim. He's not blood, so I'm like, I don't think it's family, but hey, I always just say what I say. You're recording it, you can look at it later, but with what you're going through as you're going, I just see, I don't know if you've had any contact or sense presence, but there's going to be a giant increase. Why? Part to do that you have Armie around you who's wide open. You need more people that are wide open to receive that in, okay? People are conductors. So just say I lived here, or I came here for a month, or we were whatever, filming something, doing something crazy. Oh my God. You know, there's a crisis happening right now, but in normal circumstance, I would have stayed for days or whatever. Oh my God, this shit would have been wide open. We'd have done everything with this, and we can in the future. But you just need to stay around people like that because you're opening up to a new reality. I don't know if you've had contact or seen, I know you talked for about Korea, but this shit is gonna go wide open. You're gonna see from this, people that have gone through that. I know some people in there too, but a lot of awakenings out of this. We're going into a snake year, completion. 2 + 2 + 5 is completion. So overall, people have gone through things in life, but they're ending a cycle. Sometimes the house withering away, you go, I have to start fresh now. I don't have a choice. My fucking house floated away, bro. You know what I mean? I lost everything gone. I didn't want that at the time, but oh my God, now I get it. It was something, I really feel something greater had me buy that house when I didn't want to. It was uncomfortable. I went through that and I lost all that. But if I stayed in the apartment, I wouldn't have lost that. And I might have 3 kids with a girl I don't want to, or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. So at the time, we can't see what's going on, but the further implications, I don't know if have you ever talked to a psychic before?
Yeah, I've talked to several.
Okay.
And I have mixed feelings for sure.
Yeah. So, I'm very skeptical with psychics. Oh my God, dude. I think most of the frauds.
Well, I've just had those that have sent me down the wrong path for years. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It felt so real, and I followed it.
Yeah.
And it didn't pan out.
So, are you doing any daily meditation? I know you're doing.
I need to.
Yeah. So, real simple. I do transcendental meditation. Why? Because that was taught to me. That if people say that's too much, do 5 minutes a day, then 10, then you have to do 20 to get the results, 20 and 20 a day. You want to get the results, you got to do the work. It's that simple. Yeah. But basically, start before you go to bed. When you wake up, couple minutes, do it with a friend, do whatever you got to do. But then the benefits come in like 2 to 3 days. That is what it's going to align you, because you're going to see, I don't know your friends or people you have around you, but you're going to see a lot of awful behavior after the, people are going to freak out. They're going to think they're losing. People are going to be desperate. Hey, man, like you talk about, you never know who's going to walk through the door. Might be someone you have to turn around for your benefit. Sure. So what I see, just be vigilant, be righteous. It's not an open door. I know you might say open door, but if you get that sense, or you could always message me, hey, bro, this person's coming, give me the birthday. I'll make sure, because this is number one. Your family's number one. Your family's, I don't know your situation, I'm just saying your family. This is number one. I don't know your friends, but this is number one. This has got to be right. Or at least you're putting out the right input, because if that's not right, or you got some jerk off or whatever coming in, giving you the wrong energy, they'll burn this fucking thing down. I don't know if this has happened yet, but you're also going to get at some point. Just be wary, because we're in a snake year. You're going to get snakes. Meaning there's some snakes that are awakening and shedding, but then there's also sneaky motherfuckers. So there's going to be people, I don't know if you got it already, but they're going to try to use you for your platform. I don't give a fuck how big the following is. Just use discernment, because they could ruin it. Just be. That's just what I'm seeing. Why? That tapped in with the snake year coming. Oh my God. You're going to have people that have lost everything. They're going to be desperate and say, oh, do whatever you want, man. And just see what they got going on. They have your best interests. They really love you. Are they there? If there was nothing right now, would they come on your podcast?
Yeah.
I'd be here in a second. No questions asked. I'm just saying, you're real friends, but you're going to get people, no flavor flakes. I just mean, I don't mean him. I just mean people that are not going to show whatever's going on or are going to fuck you. Nah, bro, you got to be real. This new year coming up with shedding this out, these snakes are going to be coming in, but it's going to be your circle. So it may not be directly through you. It could be a friend. Hey, what do you think of so-and-so? They said this and that. Run the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Men and women do.
Yeah.
No, it's a great quote. Men and women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah. I like that.
Sorry for the rant, but yeah.
Oh man, that's so valuable to me.
And at any time, of course, any of you ever need more insight, or any of you both of you, call me anytime, whatever you need, anything, I'll tell you anytime, whatever you guys need to know, no problem. because this is going to work, okay? Because it is working. So it'll continue to grow. I've had people come to me and I've said, hey, not now, year, whatever, you got to wait, hold off, bro. And they fucking pushed it and they lost everything and they come back, oh, and I go, dude, you recorded the session. You want me to go back and remind you? No, your pot of gold is coming because you're fucking cheating on your wife or, you know, whatever's going, like, you got to be righteous, or you don't got to be an angel. You got to be accountable. You fuck up, hey, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Don't sacrifice me, bro, but I'm not pretending to be Christ. You know, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry. Oh, I can't even imagine, you know, I lost everything, fixed it, and my wife left me. You know, like, dude, I was with her for 8 years, bro. Whatever, you don't say that part, but I don't hold anything against her. I'm just saying I thought I lost everything, and I didn't want to be around. And I felt like I had no one to go to, and I had to go. What did I do? I went back to my meditation that Greer taught me. I went back to my CE5 group in Albany, New York, and they fucking took me in, nurtured me. I had a spiritual awakening. I'm in the meditation circle, and I see this purple ball of light come down from the ceiling, go into my chest, one after another. It was literally fucking healing me. I could feel it. People in the group were telling me, Andrew, we can see 3-foot ETs walking around. I couldn't. I go, but I see these balls of light. Since that day, every day of my life when I meditate, I see those purple lights around me. I don't know what they are. I don't care. They just feel right. So stick with it. It didn't happen right away. I was with Korea. I came back for a year, but eventually it popped out, and then, oh my God, it hasn't stopped. So I see something similar. May not be exactly like that, but you're around the right people. Just stay around them and keep going on the path. Ask questions. Don't be afraid. You could text me, message me, find me on social media, whatever, just anytime, anytime. I don't do that for just anybody, but you got whatever you guys need, because this is going to work for all the motherfuckers out there that said it wouldn't and are going to bash and say whatever. They got another thing coming. They have no clue.
Woo!
They have no clue.
Love it. Love it. All right, dude, I know your family's here and they're wandering around, so I don't want to keep you for too long. We've already been going for like 2 hours, which feels like I could do this for another 2 hours. But the way that we always wrap up the podcast
of
is
course.
I flip the script, right? And I say, thank you so much for coming in. You've been kind enough to answer all of my questions for you. And I always give the guests an opportunity because they've answered all the questions. Is there anything you want to ask? It's kind of funny asking a guy who's a medium, like, is there anything you don't know? Anything you're curious about?
I'll know if he's lying. You know what I mean? And a good friend, when I'm going through this, I'm not going to call that shit out, bro. You're going to lie to me, though, and you know I'm psychic? You're pretty fucked up, bro. Yeah. What do you think I am? But whatever, that's on you. You got to live with that. No. So let me ask you this, and this has got, it's got to be tough coming back, working again. Are there people from your past that, say you did business with, now you've come back, that walked away from you, that now want you back? And you don't have to be specific, but I'm just saying, how do you deal with that? Because anyone that's watching this, if you're watching this, you might have had something go on in your life. I want to know your experience with that and what that's felt like, and how do you manage that day to day?
Yeah. I would say this. There was an incident, I wouldn't say it's an incident, but there was something that happened recently where a guy who I knew in the business before, then everything goes on with me, and this person spent years talking negatively about me and even about people around me in a public platform. Recently, that person just wrote something that was positive about me for the first time. And like, the timing of it is not lost on me. I've started working again. I've got jobs coming in. I've got, people interested in representing me. I've got all these people who were like, fuck that guy, he's done. Wait, he's working again? Well, hey, like, what's up, buddy? Like, come sit at my table, like that kind of thing. And I think that there is definitely a lower energy aspect of me that I fight and struggle against, that wants to keep a resentment towards these people and go, you fucking threw me to the wolves. Or like, I was on fire and you wouldn't even piss on me to put me out. You just watched me burn and laughed. And now you want to be nice to me? Go fuck yourself. Like, there's a part of me that feels that. But then I also was having a conversation with someone about this, and they were like, they brought up this thing and this person. And they were like, you know, I think this is really nice of them. And I just wrote, nope, like just like that. And he was like, come on, dude, like this is nice that they're doing this. And I was like, no, like I don't want any part of this. I don't give a fuck what they're saying, like no. And this person I was talking to, who every now and then will drop like a banger, goes, you know what you're gonna do? You're going to take all of these people, you're gonna welcome them back to the party, and you're gonna have a nice time with them. And that's it. And I said, I'm
never trusting these people again. And he said, I never said you had to trust these people, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a nice time. And I think what that meant for me is, if I'm still carrying resentments towards anybody about how they treated me or anything like that, the only person that's going to negatively affect is me, right? So there is I need to self-preserve here, and I need to be aware of people's true character. But I'm not going to walk around with a chip on my shoulder towards these people. Like, they just did what they did. Like, my shit was on fire, and they reacted like someone was on fire. And sometimes you just want to watch something burn. Like a building's on fire, and you see people standing like this, just amazed at the elemental power of this whole thing, right? So I was on fire. These people had whatever their reactions were. That's not my responsibility. It's not my fault. So like now, people coming back into my life, I'm feeling myself start to go, well, go fuck yourselves. Like, where were you guys when I needed you? But I'm not going to take any resentments and let that affect how I move forward in the future.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That's excellent. And
does that feel right?
Yeah. No, I just wanted your perspective. And the last thing, whenever you're ready, both of you guys, please come to Australia for vacation so you can meet the love of your life like I did.
Yeah.
Maybe an Australian girl will do good for you. When you're ready, no rush.
Yeah.
You never know. And no, thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. I'm glad I met both of you guys. Jerry, amazing. Armie, amazing. What an experience.
I've been waiting for this for months.
What an experience. And yeah, man, I'll have to come back and come hang again when this stuff passes.
Anytime, dude. You're always welcome. Come back on the show, come back whatever, come back and just hang as friends.
Yeah,
like, dude, I love having you in my life, and I'm very grateful for you.
Thank you.
All right.